What's the status, 3?
I'm good, just making the world a better place, that's all.
The original evil bastard, cutthroat warmonger, backstabber, betray your own mother. You double tongue, double talk, cause you two-faced it. You 666 with a hiss like Satan. No good snake, you only speak lies. Slime bucket scum of the universe, your eyes reveal that you have no soul and expose your true colors. I see you from 3 million miles away. You use a sneaky motherfucker, but you can't fool me. You not my bro, you not my sis. The devil doesn't have a skin color or complexion, so you not my brother, you not my sister. Yeah, your skin might be brown, but I know that you down with about 2 billion demons. Listen, stay the fuck away from me or get killed for treason against the Most High. You might got these other people scared of you, but that shit don't fly. Over here, we laugh at you, but it's not a joke, cause people need to know about the Black Devil. Yeah, the real outcast. Your time is up, it's not the end of the world, it's the age of Aquarius. You's a deceiver, you got the whole world confused in a daze like some rats in the maze. You's a shapeshifter, I don't care if you the Pope, the President or Prime Minister. King, queen, prince or princess. You just frontin' for the public and you frontin' for the press. But behind closed doors, what really goes on is ritualistic, cannibalistic, sadistic, masochistic, some real sick shit. The most wicked there is that ever lived. Under the sun, the infamous Daywalker. The movie Blade's just metaphorical. Yes, the greatest trick that the devil ever pulled is convincing the world the devil don't exist. People have no clue. They looking for a red man with a pitchfork, but that's just not true. Some say it's the white man, but yo, I'm here to let you know if you ain't know about the Black Devil. Yeah, yo, peace, God. Today's mathematics, God. Yeah, science, man. Knowledge equality of all people, even though physically we not all equal. Erase the racism. The only thing I see when I look at a person is good or evil. But the black man is God. Yeah, that shit sound good, but that shit don't apply when you try and get a job. This is real world music, reality rap. We spend too many years on that fantasy crap. It's time we deal with the facts. And the fact is, you're not better than somebody cause the color of your skin. After 3 years in prison, and a white boy showed me more love than any of my so-called niggas. So you can go and boof your doctrine. The only thing that matters is you negative or positive, and you could go to hell even where I'm sure you'll be fine with the rest of your kind. People are so blind, so deaf, so dumb, which proves you won the battle, but the war not done. You might got these other people fooled, but you can't fool we, cause we know that you a black devil.
That was racist. I could hear the left right now. You dropped a lot of gems on that track. I'm here to let you know about the white devil. So, fucking, I figured I'm gonna do a live stream to see what positive things people can come up with. The government does. No, I'm not like, you know, attacking anyone individually, but Sometimes I think I'm even complaining. But considering I'm always saying negative stuff about the government, right? Let's see if we could find some positive shit the government does. Me, I highly doubt we'll find anything. I don't even know where to start. What's up, Mark? Watt Life? To be honest, I don't even know where to start. Because they don't do shit positive. I know they give us food stamps. Section 8. As a matter of fact, let's see what Section 8 really is. I know a lot of people on Section 8. I know this homeless guy. His name's Chris. He's a so-called black man. And he had gotten a Section 8 apartment. 6 months later, I see him back on the street. As a matter of fact, this was like a month ago. I'm like, bro, don't tell me you're on the street again. And he goes, yeah, man. He goes, I didn't want to stay there. And I'm like, damn, thinking, how bad could it be for a homeless person to not want to be in their apartment? He's telling me they put him in a place that's so infested with bugs and mice. It's wild, man. They're putting homeless people in the shittiest environments. Probably worse than where he was staying on the street, obviously. If someone chooses to be in the street over their apartment, that's wild. It's gotta be bad. Matter of fact, I just seen him this morning. Damn, I gotta fucking edit my video today, man, to put up. I might put up 2 videos today for the that book. What should I look up? Section 8 housing. I don't want no fucking application. I want them to describe what Section 8 is. Oh, I know what to do. Hold on. Let's ask Google what is Section 8. Why is it called Section 8? That's what I want to know. Oops. Because the government says they're helping people, right? Yeah, even turn this on. Alright. It started in 1937. Alright. This is what Google says. Maybe I should put it on the screen, right? Hold on. I didn't watch Tusk. I'm a failure, right? At least I'm being honest. I'm gonna download it right now, as a matter of fact. While I'm on the live stream. Matter of fact, let me write a big ass note. right in my face so then I don't forget. Alright. I probably won't go live tomorrow until I get out of work, so but either way, I'm gonna watch it today. You ever watched the movie 9, Mark? I love that movie, man. That shit's a classic. It goes down in history with True Zone just dropped a video. Metaphysical breakdown of Nightmare on Elm Street. Anyway, the movie 9, I've mentioned it. He's a creator that built 9 figurines. Like, I call them figurines, but they're like little, I don't know. But he gave each one of them a part of his soul, and he built the machine, which makes it even more. He basically built this giant machine that's like AI, and he regretted it. It almost looks like the German war in the movie. How it's machine versus man. And you know in X-Men they had them giant robots. Well, they had some like that, but they looked different. But they were giant robots that were effing shit up. What's up, Flat Earth Nation? 3 fingers. But yeah, movie 9 is dope. I mean, I was thinking about this Norwegian movie this morning where a guy was being hunted and he hid in a portal potty. Something like a portal. It's an outhouse. I forgot the name of it. Headhunters. When I was walking this morning, I was like thinking of the scene when he hid in a fucking outhouse. The dude was hunting him down and he had to go in the fucking toilet part and it was filled with doo-doo. Oh man. I couldn't do it. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, it's either you fight and get shot or you hide in doo-doo. He hid in doo-doo. And then the guy went in the outhouse and sat down and took a shit and he had to like duck under it with his face in it. Oh man. He used a straw. He like ducked down in there and he had a straw to breathe. I don't know. I might have took my chances of fighting homeboy. famous again. So I figured, you know what, I'll do a video. Smarter than any, even though the Section 8 housing through States Housing Act of 1937. The program. The Section 8 program, also known as the Housing Choice Voucher Program, provides rental assistance to low-income families, elderly, people with disabilities. The program works by offering financial subsidies to landlords, which allows them to rent units to eligible tenants at below market rate. Tenants pay around 30% of their income towards rent, while the federal government pays the rest. The program was created in 1974 after Congress passed the Housing and Community Development Act in response to studies showing that low-income people were spending a high percentage of their income on housing. The program has evolved over time, with new sub-programs added in 78, 83, and 91. I'm breaking up bad. Hold on. So you couldn't hear anything I read, Flat Earth Nation? Anyway, I would switch back to my phone. I'm gonna have to do it over. I ain't gonna share. I guess after the high speed wears up, it ain't even worth sharing my screen no more. Like, so much for that. I wasn't even moving the mouse, and it was fucking breaking up. This is wild, man. I gotta figure out another way around this. Anyway. Alright. And you didn't miss much anyway. I just asked why is it called Section 8? And then it just explained, but now I said what it said. I want to know what Section 8 is and what its purpose is. That's my main objective here. It says, I asked, what is Section 8 and its purpose? It says Section 8 refers to the Housing Choice Voucher Program, which they already said that, a federal government initiative. Are they saying the same thing? They are. I just read that. It says the Housing Choice Voucher Program is the federal government's major program for assisting very low-income families to afford decent, safe, and sanitary housing in the private market. That's full of shit. One, you know, I guess if you're homeless, people take what they can get, man, but yeah, decent, so they can afford decent, whatever. It's better than nothing, I guess, if, you know, but safe? Nah. In these cities, find me a safe Section 8. You have to be, people do get safe places in these rich neighborhoods, but they've been on Section 8 for a long time, and there's a list. I know, because I had a friend's mom that was, this was in the 90s, she was getting Section 8. Hold on. So, this is the 90s, and I lived with my mom in the building next to this one, and they lived on the street behind there, and they had a house. And I found out they got Section 8. I was like, what? And then after that, they ended up moving to Bristol into a real nice neighborhood. But once again, this, you know, my friend's mother stayed on their ass, and if I'm not mistaken, she had a friend that worked in the state. You know, like I said before, man, it's who you know in life. You could work your ass off your whole life. We use work and be stuck in the same fucking position you're in because you don't know nobody. It's all about who you know, man. And your skills play a part, but it's mostly who you know. But yeah, back to so they said safe. Nah, I don't agree with that, man. I'll say 90% of these Section 8s are in the fucking ghetto, right? Or the poor areas, and they're not safe. That's just what it is. And sanitary, nah. What's up, Lucid? Sanitary, definitely not. If you got a homeless man, right, that got an apartment, he was happy in the beginning. And then they leave their fucking apartment. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that. Now, some get thousands, but I know a person who worked, and at 38, they hurt their back. And all them years, that person worked from 16 all the way to 38. And all that Social Security you pay is a crock of shit, because you ain't going to see it. When you go to apply for, what is it called, disability, they're only going to go 10 years back from all your work. And then they're still going to give you the bare minimum, which is 7. Well, now I think it's like 820. Yep. And those are people that work. That ain't counting people who don't work. You know, I know many people that are. But yeah, there is a lot of people who don't want to work. But also, people got to remember, a lot of the fucking major companies in the United States are gone. You know how many jobs? When Stanley Works left New Britain, it turned New Britain into a fucking shithole, just like Hartford. Hartford had tons of factories. When they all left, thousands of people were jobless. Where are they going to go? So I think the government knew that was going to happen. They knew when these jobs left, all those people are going to be fucked. So they're going to go where? To the government for help. These people plan this shit ahead, I think. But yeah, there is a lot of people that don't want to work Flat Earth Nation. I ain't disagreeing with that. But there's a lot of people who want to work, and there just isn't no jobs like before. Like I said this a lot of times in the 90s. I remember I lost a job. I was working at Taco Bell. I lost my job. I walked across town. I would say down the street, but I could have back then. But I went across town and got another job like 6 hours later. Nowadays, that ain't happening. Not where I'm at. I had to add that in because I thought in my mind real quick, it might just be where I'm at. But yeah, there's jobs, but not like there used to be, man. America. It's disappointing because America could thrive. How do we fix that problem? I have no fucking clue. What do I know? I'm just a fucking ding dong. Alright. Section 8. They're not giving me the answers I'm looking for. Like, what do you think these programs are created for? Do you think they're really helping people, or are they helping people to depend on the government more? I think, once again, I'm trying to look for positive things the government do, but it always leads down a negative road. Like, what is Section 8 going to do for people, right? What rehabilitation is? It's like prison to me, Section 8. Look at my roommate. I got none but love and respect for my roommate, man, and a lot of other people. But if you're sick and you're lying in your bed, they're just, pump you up with some things from the PILLS's, pump you up, just die in your bed. That's one less person. It's a prison, man. Section 8 is like a Section 8 of a fucking prison. They'll pay you to just dwindle away in your apartment. But let me not think, I'm speaking negative again. I can't help it. Food stamps in Section 8. Let me word this question different. What's up, face plant? This is the symbol I was talking about, by the way, where You can make a 6-pointed star with this bird, and you could flip it around and make the Baphomet too. But what is it? Who cares, right? People want to check out good footage of the stars and wandering stars. Check out Flat Earth Nation, man. He has good. He's always going live and using his telescope to show the stars and wandering stars, man. So go check him out. He has great footage. I enjoy watching it. Alright, food stamps. Today, faceplant. Yeah, I figured out like 8 years ago the Star of David is just a man and woman put together in symbols, right? Oh yeah, faceplant. Today's video. I know faceplant will have something to say. I'm speaking on what positive, because through my observations, I always find negative stuff to talk about, right? Because that's all the government does is negative shit. So I said, let me find some positive things the government doing. All I could find so far is food stamps and Section 8. And is that really good? Or is it America's downfall? Or is it part of their plan to get us to depend on them? That's what I think. The truth about food stamps. Let's see what this guy, because I questioned it. Food stamps to Section 8 are America's downfall. Let's see what we get. Yeah, P900s are really good. You ever notice, Flat Earth Nation, that the P900s were taken off the market for the most part? Like, and I've been hearing this a lot. I don't know how true it is, but I see them for sale, but they're like mostly used. I haven't seen like a store selling brand new ones. I could be wrong. But people are saying the newer ones being made after the P900 aren't even as good as the P9. But I always wanted a P900. Maybe one day I'll pick one up. Peace, Craig. A P900's a camera. A Nikon P900. They're one of the, in my opinion, I never owned one, but I've seen footage through one, and man, the P900 is what really, is what was like the tool that, it was the tool that flattened out the globe, man. P900 took the globe and kicked that shit to a field goal. That didn't make sense. It took the ball and deflated it. There you go. Boom. We're on the same page, Flat Earth Nation. I don't know what Richie from Boston uses. I think he used to use one. Richie from Boston's alright. No, I was thinking of many ways of why that happened with me using Richie from Boston stuff. Is either one, he was hating, but I doubt that. You know, YouTube could do that purposely to get people to think Richie's doing that, so then we'll stop watching them. But I'm not going to pay no mind to that. It happened, it happened. What does it matter how it happened? It happened, and I can't change it. So, but I could prevent it from happening again by not sharing. But let's see what this guy says about. Alright, let's see. It says there's a lot of false information. Uh-oh. I see this being a, there's a lot of false information out there about food stamps and people who receive them. It's important to separate the common myths. We got to get the fact check masters in here. That's what we need. We need Google's fact checkers. Anyway, it is important to separate the common myths and misconceptions from the truth in food stamps, such as just who are those 1 in 7 of our neighbors who rely on them. Both federal and state legislators regularly try to place limits on the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, or food stamps. Yeah, SNAP. In recent years, these self-described conservatives have tried to cut food stamp funding and program access every way possible, and to shocking degrees, they propose rules to humiliate and demonize recipients of food stamps and other welfare programs, which they claim create a culture of dependency. Well, if you're going to cut the food stamps and these other programs, at least put some fucking jobs in place. So then people who they deem don't need them could at least go back to work. It would be dumb for the government to just cut the programs completely and then there's no jobs. But that's how dumb the government is. Well, actually, they're not too dumb because they plan this shit out. The fight continues to protect food assistance benefits at the first line of defense against both hunger and poverty. Therefore, people must understand how the food stamp program works, who it helps. Yeah, I know. But anyway. Nowadays, they make it more difficult to get a lot of state stuff. Shit. When I went to get food stamps about 8 years ago, they told me to give me $16. I was like, what the fuck am I going to do with $16? I was like, you could shove that up your wazoo. They made a mistake putting out the 900, the 1,000. Yeah, that's what I heard too, Faceplant. Alright, this ain't what I'm looking for, this guy. He said the truth about food stamps and talking about other stuff. People trying to find out what positive things the government has done. Let's Google and see what Google has to say. If anyone thinks of anything, let me know. Anyone wants to come up, I dropped the link. What positive acts has the government done for the people? And oops. You can get a hot dog and chips with 16 what? Dollars? What a good. Alright, so I said, what positive acts has the government done for the people in the last 10 years? And it says, what are some good things the government has done? It says, 1. Social Security payments help 51 million Americans. Look, people are complaining about the border. I get it. But we should be complaining about locking these fucking losers up. But more, we should be complaining about these jobs. We need jobs, man. We need America to produce its own stuff and tell China to get their cheap garbage off our shelves. Stuff made in China is trash. It's garbage. It's cheap. And now, the stuff they make in China for their self is made good. But the stuff they make to be shipped to our shelves is trash. It's made to break. It's just terrible, man. Like even NASCAR, I was watching something one day, and they were talking about tools and shit. And how good the tools used to be when they were made in America, but then the company moved to China, and now China's making them, and it's terrible. They break, the metal's garbage. And it's just like, that's why, when people like, we brought up the other day in the live stream, I'm getting off track again, man. I'm supposed to be talking about positive things, but like I said, it's like super hard to find something positive they've done. People could say they donate money, but that's just for a write-off. So are they donating out of their heart, or are they donating to get a write-off? Probably both. You know, some people probably do it out of their heart and then say, well, I could get some of this back too, so it's a win-win. And I don't just blame China too, because, oh, here we go. And the second one from Social Security payment to help 51 Americans. Number 2 was college loan programs to help millions who might otherwise not be able to afford higher education. They call that higher education. Oh man. So that's two things the government has done for the people. That's wild. That's wild. That's what AI can come up with. Like, people think AI is like super smart. Where the fuck do you think AI gets its information from? Us, by programming it and writing it into the internet. They could just AI could sort it out faster, that's all. Fuck AI. Artificial indoctrination. Craig says, if stuff is quality, then they could sell us more. I think, we hear you, Faceplant. I think it's not just China's fault either. These corporations go to China, or these rich people probably lose their factories gambling too. 'Cause they gamble a lot in China, or they lose bets, but it's saving the corporate owner money too by selling cheap shit.
Yeah, Charles.
What's up?
Yeah, like I have some old tools like some like hose and shovels and stuff, and that shit might be 100. It might be 100 years old, it might be 70 years old, or whatever, but it literally lasts forever. And I went and bought. I forget where I bought them, but I bought these spades, like for digging in the garden.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where it was. It might have been Home Depot or something. But like the old shovel, you couldn't break the thing. These new shovels, man, I stick it like if the ground's hard, I stick the fucking shovel in the ground, and it just fucking bends. The spade, like you go to dig the earth up, and the fucking shovel just bends. Not even one use out of it. So it's useless. And the same thing, even it would have been like 30 years ago, maybe. I bought Sears Craftsman tools, you know, and
Yeah.
I put and I was working on an old car, and I put the socket on and it's like lifetime guarantee. If it breaks, bring it back and we'll replace it or whatever. So, I put the socket on the nut, and then I put a bar on the end of because it's really seized, eh? I put a bar on the end of the uh, wrench to get more leverage, and that fucking socket just split. It split. So when I need it, it lets me down. It's like buying nothing. Sure, I can take it back and get another one, but when I needed it at that point, it let me down.
Wow.
So it's irrelevant if I can go get another one, because when I needed to do the job, it just trips me up, and now I'm fucked, and I can't get the job done in time or whatever. I have to go but the old sockets, the older ones, they would never break. You could put them up against any rusty nut or whatever, and it would shear the bolt off before it would break the damn tool.
Check this shit out. Listen to this. It says, iconic American companies that aren't in America anymore. Well, I tried to get a list from 1990 till now, but it hasn't showed me. Tupperware, gone. Burger King, they're more of a Canadian coffee and a donut chain. Budweiser, was acquired by a Belgian company in 2008. That's weird because, so that means, yeah, I think Trump had said something about companies that are still in America, but they're owned by foreign people because they're escaping taxes or something. Firestone, that's weird because they're still here.
Hey, Chuck,
Japanese owned them.
I'll give you another example. Bricklayers' hammers, like all the old European guys, they always had the wood-handled hammers. But all us the young guys, they thought it was cool to buy the steel hammer, the Estwing hammer, with the kind of rubber blue handle, where the steel from the head of the hammer it's one piece. It goes right through to the handle, and it's a rubber handle, and you think it's gonna like save your hand from vibration, but no, that the wood handle isolates the blow to the steel on the head,
That's
and
weird
you won't
because when I
hurt your
used a
hand.
baseball bat,
You won't.
the steel ones, the wooden bats, if I didn't wear batting gloves, man, that vibration would go right up. That's different though. It's not a steel tip bat, you know. It's all wood, but wood,
But
man, that shit would be like, bam. It was
what I'm
crazy.
we thought it was cool to buy the Estwing hammer. It was like way more expensive and it looked cool, and but the metal is low quality. Like if you're depending on what you're using it on, you can see it gets dents in the when you hit a certain kind of stone with it or brick. Like it has the one end the square hammer end, and the other end the wedge kind of chipping end. And like the guy with the new fancy hammers, like he's whacking, and it's not doing the job. But the old wood handle hammer with the old time steel, and not only that, like the blow hits your hand on the new hammer, the blow goes right through that rubber, whereas the wood handle hammer isolates the impact to it's like insulates the blow away because it's a different material, and it's a natural material. And now you say S-wing hammer made in the USA. It's got a tag on the handle when you buy it. It says made in the USA. How much you want to bet that tag is the only thing that's made in the USA? The fucking tag.
Not
So
even. The
so
paper could have been from somewhere
so
else.
the criteria they use for made in the USA is if a certain percentage of the value of the product is made in the USA, then it's deemed made in the USA. So
Well, yeah,
you can you can send a big ship to China and get a whole bunch of these hammers, and they get them for $10, and then they
but
put
that's
them
the
on the ship.
problem.
Let me
That's the
finish, man.
problem with
Let me
America space plant. That
let me
even
finish.
these shirts people sell that say have American flags on them, they're
Let me
fucking made in China.
let me finish though. Like, okay, they send a ship to China, and they load all these hammers on the ship, and it costs them $10. So on the ship, they put it in a box or put a tag on it, and that's part of the product. The package is the product. So putting it in a box or putting a tag on it that says made in the USA, that costs $30. So the great majority of the value of that product is made, quote unquote, made in the USA, so they can say it's made in the USA. The package is the product.
True.
So it's a trick. big trick. And like right now, with this agenda that's going on, it's like it's unstoppable, and I'm experiencing it in my home right
Yeah,
now. Like
it's too late.
I'm going through a hell that the city has these livability bylaws. They call it livability. Like a motherfucker will come to my yard and deem my medicinal plants as noxious weeds, and then give me a cleanup order to get rid of the noxious weeds. And
You need to put a fence up, and if
they're
they
making
come on your yard, pistol whip them.
no man. Then they come with the police. If you do
Oh,
that, they'll come with the fucking police to oversee them cleaning up your yard. They'll
that's
they'll
wild,
destroy
bro.
everything. They'll destroy everything, steal all your shit, and then add the bill to your taxes. And if you don't pay your taxes, you pay major interest, and then eventually they'll take your home away from you.
Damn, Canada's beyond corrupt, man.
Like, and this, it's crazy. Like like I was saying before, all around here, like old ladies that are all alone, they die, and then boom, some foreigner comes and buys their house and puts up one of those shit apartment blocks and fills it up with immigrants and agents, and it's like I'm not supposed to be here. Like according to the agenda, by next year, I'm not supposed to be here. So they're gonna try to get rid of me. They're gonna provoke me into some kind of assaulting a bylaw officer or something like that, or barricading myself in my house, and then they'll bring fucking SWAT and fucking take me out, right? And that's how that shit's happening. So it's bizarre. It's beyond bizarre. It's fucking hell. And still today, I'm still trying to comply, and I don't even know if what I'm doing in the yard is going to be good enough for them. Like they can. I'll read this fucking. I'll read this shit. It says, officers' observations. There's an accumulation of garbage on the property. That includes, but may not be limited to, broken tent structure, which is my greenhouse. It has some rips in it. Scrap metal, which is like some steel and stuff that I'm using to like roofing sheets and stuff. Yard waste, which is the fucking plants that they made me cut down, and car parts. So no matter what I do, by this definition, they can say it's not good enough and take those actions on me. It's like, it's fucking hell, man. I'm trying, but it's almost like it's not even, whatever I do is not going to be good enough.
That's wild that these people can go on your property and deem all this shit. So technically, it's not even your property. The government, they do that here in the U.S. too, man. Like if you got too many cars in your driveway on your property, they can make you get rid of them. Even some
Yeah,
states you can't.
and now,
You can't.
now when I'm trying to fix up the yard, and now they come again for the vehicles, and now the next thing that's going to come is going to be about the vehicle, my vans and my truck that I have in my yard.
Are they
So
running?
no.
Damn.
So, and yeah, what was I going to say? So yeah, they can just come and take that shit and charge me for whatever expenses, and and you know, and they're supposed to send They did this to me in 2018, the same goddamn trick. And they send a thing by registered mail, a notice in the mail to go and pick up some registered mail at the post office and sign for it. And I've been checking the mail, waiting for this thing to come, and it never came. And then they come and they say it came, but I didn't pick it up and I didn't sign for it. And they have a postal number and everything. And there's nothing, fuck all I can do about it. It's a lie. They're saying I got it, received it, but I didn't pick it up. And there was nothing came in the fucking mail. It's bizarre. It's like they've got the post office involved in it. It's just devilish. It's all lies. And it's so fucking stressful. It's like I can't even live. I can't even, do my own thing here because I'm the last few days I've been working on this shit and it's fucking hard fucking work.
I'm gonna look up
I'm amazed
Canadian.
I've actually come up with the strength to do this shit. Like I pray and I meditate, like Father in heaven, give me strength and make me not freak out.
I just want to let me finish this thing, and I'm gonna look up that Canadian ordinance thing. I just wanted to go over some of these companies. There's only like 10 of them, but like Budweiser, known as the king of beer, because they have a big Budweiser factory in Connecticut. I always drive by. Well, not always. I used to drive by it to go to the beach or not to the beach. I think it's north, but either way, I've driven by it so many times, and it has these horses. It's a beautiful patch of land. I think it's like the main building or the main corporate office or the factory. I don't know. But yeah, it said they were acquired by a Belgium company, InBev, in 2008. The resulting entity is Anheuser-Busch. InBev is now one of the world's largest breweries. So they're not even owned by America no more, American people. Firestone Tire and Rubber Company.
Yeah,
It
it's
was an
like
American staple. Now they're acquired by Japan and the company Bridgestone in 1988.
yeah,
Damn.
the Budweiser company is a part of a huge company that has its head office in Belgium,
Yeah.
and now and Chrysler is part of Mercedes Daimler, and
They're probably in here too.
that's part of Fiat. So they already owned foreign based companies, and it's just a technicality that their head office is in Belgium or Italy or
Just
whatever,
like
right?
Firestone, they're in Tokyo. It says the main they're operating out of Tokyo, but then it says, but Firestone remains a well-known brand in the U.S. So it's only a brand in the U.S. now. It's not owned like the U.S. I'm starting to think. Look at Ben and Jerry's. I'll just say the names. I won't read everything. 7-Eleven. I don't know what Smithfield Foods is. IBM PC. AMC Theaters, which is huge. That's like all the theater places. General Electric, Trader Joe's, Holiday Inn, Hoover, Sunglass Hut. Fuck Sunglass Hut. But yeah, those are just some of the major companies that operate in the US but are owned by foreign entities. That shit has to stop.
So it's
You
like
know,
even the city is owned by the big faceless corporations, and
yeah.
yeah, I
We
mean
don't need to stop. But
even the royalty. You look at the map of Europe, and it's like the people didn't Spanish and German and Italian, uh, whatever kind of Portuguese, whatever kind of people, they didn't make up these borders. Everything was installed by a trading company, and then they install the royals, and they're just the figurehead, the front man for everything that they do, and the company like in Saskatchewan, which is next door to Manitoba, it's a French company, a uranium mining company. It's like they give them this massive piece of land. They call it a lease, and
Yeah,
uh, and it's a
I
French
know what the
company,
leaf is.
and they're poisoning the whole fucking area. Even the wind that blows the dust from the mine, it comes all over here too. So it's fucking horrible, man. It's like I hate to be doom and gloom, but it's just what it is, and
Yeah.
it's all marching forward on a schedule.
Well, I think the U.S. could thrive more if they actually had companies that are in the U.S., not owned by foreign entities. Fucking these pieces of crap want to avoid all these taxes. Instead of fighting to get taxes eliminated, they rather just
Yeah, that
leave.
sounds good, but set up so it can never ever happen, Chuck.
Yeah, because
The
this is
only thing you can do, the only thing you can really do is just not participate and just try to do your own thing, you know?
yeah. Well, that's the fall of America, is because, and then there's no like that a lot of all this stuff that we talk about clearly proves the government has no intention to care or help any of us, but yet the people still have this faith that the government is trying to change, that they're gonna change. We need someone in there that could make a change. It's like, dude, I haven't seen that in 31 years, and fucking people to this day still. It's like religion. It's like, nah, I'm not gonna. You get what I'm saying. Uh, wow, I got a map right here. Foreign investments in the U.S. At, it says ag land. I don't know what that is, but I was looking for a map that showed how much land is owned by China in the U.S. Because I also heard China was buying up oil fields. Now that's detrimental because Texas, them states over there in the Gulf, even the Gulf itself, there's so much oil under there that they could feed the world. That's why when Biden said, "Oh, it's Russia's fault we don't have no oil," no, stop lying. It's your fault, right? It was Biden's fault. We have the biggest oil, I think. Nah, maybe not the biggest, but the second, because the Middle East beats everybody. But yeah,
See, now
those oil bearing people are rich as hell in the Middle East.
Elon Musk is part of the government now, and he never designed or built fuck all. He's just a front man.
Yeah,
And
I think
and
so
now
too. I think they're all fronts.
and now he's like partners with Trump, who's a front man too, and setting up all this bullshit, Starlink and whatever, Neuralink, and it's all about control. And Gates has bought, I think it's in Arizona, or I'm not sure, like a massive bunch of land, and he's going to make a smart city, and he's got bought up farmland to not grow food,
He's gonna make a fart city.
and you know how they say, "Ooh, that smarts."
Huh.
I was what the flock, or the black sheep researcher, what the flock TV, black sheep researcher. I don't know if you listened to his channel. His last video was about this stuff, and he looks up the definition or in the origins of words, and smart means pain, to have pain, and that's what it's all about, causing pain for the problem reaction solution.
Oh, this is the picture yesterday. I forgot when I got off live stream. I forgot my phone was dying, and I said, "Man, I'm gonna take a picture of this." Oops, hold on. Here it is. This is what I seen in the sky. This ain't a good picture. I didn't get to zoom in, but you could see the shadow again. But it looked better in person. Like,
Yeah, it's a shadow on the rest of the shit that's there that you can't see. And then, yeah, you can see the frequencies,
yeah,
the waves. You can see the waves. They spray the shit up there, and then they light it up with radar and Nexrad and whatever different shit they have.
you know, I used to show the waves. Like sometimes they would spray would be thin, 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 but it looked like ocean waves. And I would say, "Hey man, look at," or I would show my friends pictures, and they would say that's the wind. And I mean, okay, that's a minor possibility, but it's not.
And it's like a screen. It's like a liquid crystal TV screen in the sky, and they can put anything they want on there. You're not looking
Chinese
you're not
farmland.
looking at the sky anymore. You're looking at a fucking screen.
Look at this faceplant. A Chinese farmland owner in Indiana. 301 acres in Noble County, 92 acres in Marion County, 225 acres in Greene County. Then you go over here to North Dakota, approximately 16 miles. This land.
Yeah, I'm really close to North Dakota. I listen to their radio, AM radio from North Dakota, and their thing
Ooh.
now is about the CO2 pipeline, that they're taking over people's land for the CO2 pipeline to put
Yeah.
CO2 into the ground, when
Huh.
CO2 is like a life, part of the life that plants need. Plants take CO2 and they release oxygen, and people uh, breathe oxygen and release CO2. So in nature, we work together, but now they're taking that away, and under this false greenhouse gas and global warming nonsense.
Yeah, but look at
It,
Mr. Gates of hell. He said the answer is to cut trees down. And I'm like, what's wrong with this fool? Like even Native American chiefs will tell. Like I heard a story by one of them saying that it'll bring on the ice age if you cut the trees down. Trees hold heat too, number one, and two, they help, block wind and all that stuff. So, yeah, and
yeah, and
trees.
here is protecting the bad trees. And they're talking about these the elms, save the elms, and they're the most horrible fucking tree around, which I think were introduced a couple hundred years ago, along with
You ever
these plants and the bugs that are fucking everything up.
you ever notice America's been getting a lot of invasive species of insects and animal, like not so many animals, but a few fish and insects that are very invasive.
Yeah, and it only takes a couple species to just ruin everything.
This is the other day they were spraying. Then in my house, I got this spider.
I think I got bit by a spider yesterday.
Look at this bad boy, man. I threw a
I
bug in the web, and it was wrapping them up so fast, like a Scooby snack. And then when they eat them, all they do is like inject something into the thing and like suck it out. It's weird, man.
Yeah, and a buddy, me and my buddy years ago. We were out on at my land, and I got bit by a hornet. I got stung by a hornet, and he had this pen which just gives off infrared light. It's like basically heat. So what you do is, as soon as you got stung, you put this pen with the heat right onto the bite, and what it does is it reacts and breaks up the compound, kind of cooks the compound of the poison from the sting to before it goes into your system. Right? It hurts a bit and it burns, but it works. And yesterday when I got bit by that spider, um, on the back of my thumb, I had this halogen lamp, this halogen light, like it's like a construction light, but it's really hot. And I put my thumb up to that light, and it kind of worked. The swelling went down right away. I can still I can still feel it a little bit, but it's not that bad. But I've been blessed with some good weather here. It's been way above normal, and normally on any normal year it would be the ground would be covered with snow, and that wouldn't melt until spring. But it's been above freezing for a few days, and it's hopefully going to stay above freezing, so I can try to get some of this shit done. Not
Chuck, what's goody, bro? What's good, man?
Hey,
Truth
Tucson,
on in the building.
how you doing?
I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good, my man. I seen the title of the video. You know, I had to join. He said, "Has the government done good at all?" No, they haven't done good since they've been here.
Yeah, it has the appearance of being good, and it's just all deception.
Right. All their plans and actions are nefarious, man. They've never been righteous since they invaded. You know, since they set up a demo system, since they set up a autocracy, what's it called, autocracy, since they've been here, man. These are
It's a
evil people.
system that creates an illusion that you're free.
Right. You got to be dumb to think you're free. That's what man is. You got to be dumb to think free dumb. You got to be dumb to think you free.
Yeah, free to be dumb.
Free to be.
I titled it this true song because I know like I'm not attacking anyone individually, but I get a lot of people that they always say and it's negative, and a lot of people are trying to be like people don't want to hear negativity all the time, but what does the government do that's good? I'm
Bro,
trying to
right.
enlighten me. Like all I could come up with was like food stamps, Section 8, but those are traps, in my opinion.
Those are programs inside of a program. You got to think those are matrix programs, just like religion. Everything's a program here, right? So Section 8 is a program. Really, Section 8 was a military caste system. Food
That's what I
stamps.
was trying to look up.
Food stamps is why do you have to pay for food on a free planet if the planet gives? Planet Kai, this planet gives for free. It's
Yeah,
always been like that. This planet has always gave us Like
The
who?
government wants you to join that, you know, so we could depend on them, you know.
Right. That's why we say governmental. They want to govern your mental, and they say governing body. They want to govern your mind, soul, and spirit, bro.
That's why I was showing all these different companies or corporations that are owned by foreign entities. They were sold, but they still remain in the United States. But people in like Belgium or Japan or China own them. So
Right.
all these foreign entities are buying up all the companies over here in the land and shit for the American people. Because people say, "Oh, you can do it too. You can, man, you can." But it's a drop in the bucket that you're gonna make it. Like my grandpa owned 2 or 3 pieces of land because they were cheap back then. You know, back then
Hmm.
you could actually work two jobs and make money to buy houses, support your family. Your wife could stay home, but now, shit, you
Every
need
look,
you to work, your child's to work, your wife to work.
Yeah, and then
all the
yeah,
United States corporation is, bro, is just New Age Babylon, man. That's all it is. Like I see, you got the eagle. That symbol, that's from ancient Kemet. Everything is just a replica from ancient Egypt. Dude, America is Egypt. So everything this government, this U.S. de facto government is just replicated off of that. That's why if you look at the back of the dollar bill, you can decode it and see it has all Egyptology on the back of that dollar bill. So this is just a replica. That's all it is, bro.
yeah,
But this
like
government,
you
go ahead,
can
my bad.
buy land. You can buy land you think you're going to buy land for your family and that, but then they you buy it and then they increase the value of it, so they increase the taxes of it, and then when you die, it's worth a certain amount of money, and who you leave it to has to pay a big inheritance tax to
The United States
for
government,
the land, and then they can't afford to buy the land, so they sell it,
right?
and it's
The United States government owns nothing. They don't own. Look, man. That's why I say all the time. My ancestors were here first on this landmass. So my ancestors knew that you couldn't own the land. Nobody can own this realm. You can't own. It's impossible. So that's when they got here. They started making treaties with us because they knew that we knew it was impossible for anyone to own the land. This is why they say this land is your land. This land is my land. We made treaties with them. So now they feel like they own the land, and that us indigenous people, I should be paying. We knew I'm not supposed to be paying no rent. We're not supposed to be paying nothing to even everybody else. We're not supposed to pay nothing to exist here.
I agree with that.
It goes back to that. I heard somebody on Instagram, a so-called spiritual teacher, talking about Trump as our boy. I'm like, man, what the fuck are y'all talking about? Trump's is just.
Isn't it wild? Like,
Oh, what face
I
planting
even
go?
have,
He clicked off. Damn, my bad.
yeah, you clicked off too when you were talking, so I thought you were done. But even watching the Kamala Harris video, and I've always said this for like 10 years that it's wild to me when these presidents speak and people cheer them and clap. I'd be like, damn, man, we're so gullible and vulnerable. We clap for our own oppression and slavery. Like, I'm gonna bring down the prices on food, and people are like, yeah, and I'm thinking she's the
You gotta
reason you
think.
brought them up.
You gotta think. We don't clap for it. We don't clap for it. I'm on the outside looking in. You gotta think. They like that. They like the psychological warfare. I was telling somebody, if you think a president has anything to do with commerce and gas prices, then you got a long somebody leading you astray. They have nothing to do with that. That's owned by its own corporate entity. So a sitting president is just president of the White House Incorporated. And that
I'm
goes
just
back to
waiting for someone to come along. Sorry, Truth. I just wanted to say real quick to the chat. Probably no one. I'm just waiting for someone to come through and let me know some positivity the government has done for the
there's none.
people.
There's none. They took land, they stole land. That's what I'm saying. I heard a so-called spiritual person talking about Trump is on our side. I'm thinking to myself, I have yet to hear any of these demons get on the television and say they're going to give the indigenous people back land and resources. They still calling us African American and black. I ain't heard none of them say they're gonna give us our land back or any type of resources. Until they start talking like that, I don't want to hear nothing they gotta say. The government's deadbeat, man. They ain't if they ain't talking about giving the indigenous people our land and resources back, I don't want to hear nothing they gotta say. They can keep their money, they can keep their promises because we don't want to hear it. They've never done no good, bro. The only thing they did is come here, lie, steal, and kill.
I'm listening. I'm trying to find the symbols here to show people.
We're not supposed to be governed by nothing. We're not supposed to, because once governors get involved, man, that takes you away from your sovereign capacity. Because
I heard. Oh, go ahead.
Governance ties you to a patrilineal system. Patrilineal personifies patriarchy. So this is why those people in North Carolina, people are crying. How come the government won't help us? Because for one, you calling yourself an American citizen. If you're calling yourself an American citizen, then you're looked at as a canned good in the store. You know, you go into a store, you work at Kroger, a supermarket, you take a canned good and you throw the shit on the floor. You don't care about it. So that's how the government's going to treat you, because you're calling yourself a United States citizen. You're just goods and services inside of a corporation. So they're going to treat you just like that, because you already you taking yourself away from sovereignty. So that's why I don't get it when people cry. Oh, why is the government doing this? Why are they poisoning us? Because, man, you calling yourself a citizen.
Trying to think. What do
you think when you at war? Hold on, Charles. What do people think was supposed to happen if we at war with an unseen shadow enemy? You think, why wouldn't they poison us? Why wouldn't they spray chemtrails? We at war, dog. My bad. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I've been trying to tell people that for a long time, but they just don't get it or don't want to get it. But I forgot what I was listening to, man. And what caught my ear was he was a so-called black man, but I can't remember who it was, man. It was yesterday. I was watching something, and in their words, I heard, they stated the Constitution wasn't made for us anyway.
No,
and I also heard a white man say, I watched his
I said that, bro. Hold on. I said that. Do you remember me saying that?
Well, that's what I was saying. I couldn't remember who, but I watched this white guy who said it. And I was stoned yesterday too. So, and then plus I was watching other stuff, so I got confused, but I knew I heard it, but I couldn't remember from where or who. But
nobody listens to True Zone, man. I guess I used to be talking to talk, man. You know, it's not about. I ain't talking about you, bro. I'm just saying. I guess I used to be talking to talk.
I listen. I just didn't remember it was you.
Bro, I said the same thing, bro. The Constitution is just a contract, bro. It's a treaty, man. All it is.
I watched this guy called no, I can't remember his name. Anyway, I'll tell his name in a minute. It'll come to me. He went to jail, and he preaches a lot about damn, my mouth's dry. Using your SSI card. You know how they make money off of that whole situation. But he said he went to jail, and his wife sent him a 1870, I think, or 1880s Webster dictionary. He started looking in the law and looking everything up, because he explained why he used that book, because back then everything was in that one book. And he started to he even stated in his video, I'm gonna see if I can find it, where in prison he was, a lot of the black people were asking for help and stuff, and he said it was segregated in prison, but he didn't play by those rules. So anyway, he was helping them and telling them that the Constitution don't apply. It was only for white Europeans that came from Europe, or something to that extent. And I was shocked when I heard this, because I wanted to run and tell all my friends, but I don't know how official that is, man. There's got to be proof that, because now they got everyone's birth certificate and SSI card to sucker them into being in.
Right. It started in the early 1930s with this demonstrative government. This is why they say democracy. It's demo. You take the cracy off. You have demo. It's a demo government, and then you have cracy. Cracy means to rule over another one. So I study etymology. People don't know that. So when you put the terminology demo and cracy together, that's democracy. So that's a fallacy in itself. It's fraudulent. They're telling you that their system is fraudulent, which pretty much most of us already know. You know, this whole system, you gotta think this war started against the indigenous people, man, against dark complected. So I'm not gonna say black. This war started with the melanated people, but then it trickled down to everybody else. Everybody else was just used as pawns against each other. So they brought Caucasian nationalized citizens in here to put them on the chessboard, because this is chess being played by a shadow enemy. So they using us against each other on different facets. But at its root, like at the start of this, it was the war against the indigenous people of this realm. Because look at all the laws that were pushed. Why do you think the police department was created? All police departments are foreign entities that's occupying stolen land. This is why they dress like foreign troops. This is why you see police dressing like they inside of a war zone, because they are in a war zone. This is a war that's been going on for hundreds of years against the indigenous people. This can't be no far from the truth. That's what it's all about. But like I said, it trickles down to everybody else, because we're all subjugated under these maritime draconian laws. We all being poisoned via air, land, and sea, and psychologically, you know. But go ahead, Charles. My bad. I just want to put that out there, man.
Oh, that's interesting to me. Man, I'm all for it. You know, I know there's a lot of people. I know there's so-called white people that don't want to mix, or that's why they screw their own family. Because they believe in keeping their bloodline. I think both. There's all sorts of shades of people that do that, but I'm not with that. And two, there's people that think, you know, if there's so-called black people that want to do their own thing, I'm for that too, man. Do your own thing.
Right. But we all have a common enemy, man. All world governments are enemies to their own, to the people that occupy these geographical land masses, because they make all these world governments are one. They're one body. They got you thinking that they're different from each other, but they're all one body. It's all the same agenda, keeping us asleep, keeping us in a state of delusion, in illusions. Because this is war, man. They invaded this realm. We're a micro to a macro. This is a war that's going on, man. A war for this planet. A war for your soul. A war for
all their enemies at once, man. Because there's different tribes that are enemies against this government. There are also a lot of tribes in their government too, but
I heard somebody say the realest shit, bro. Poor people and middle class, lower middle class people, whatever you want to call them, they not our enemy, bro. They not my enemy, man. Somebody that look like you, bro, that's poor, middle class, whatever you want to call it, because they keep us in classism. That's a form of war too.
They could be, because it starts at the bottom. They've infiltrated every level. They could be, but not, you know.
They don't. I'm saying they don't know better, bro. I used to get mad at these people. These people don't know no better, bro. They don't know that we at war.
I can't find this fucking thing I want to show, but
I'm always gonna be, the government's always gonna be one of my biggest enemy, because they came here and they took land. I ain't gonna say they took it. They stole land. They stole motherfuckers' identities, and so I'm saying I can never make peace with somebody that took my damn identity and gave it to somebody else and started calling them indigenous. I can't. That's like me coming in your house right now, stealing all your shit, and then coming back 20 years later and say, hey, let's make peace. Come vote for me. I'm your friend. I'm your brother. Let me get the fuck out of my face. But then again, do you feel like it's our fault too for like buying into this shit, falling for the banana in the tailpipe? I ain't got one. I can't say nothing good about the government, bro. They a bunch of pirates, man. They a bunch of traffickers. They take orders from the black pope, the white pope,
I mean,
Satan himself.
I do. I blame the people who either sold the land but that's all about taking accountability, you know. What happened then happened. Now we're in this situation, but yeah, if those people are taking accountability, you know, it ain't up to me, it's up to them to say, yeah, I fucked up, you know,
Right.
but
But listen, this
it's up
Charles.
to us to fix the problem
Right.
in a
You had
way.
mentioned this before. You had said what happened in the past is the past, but you can't really say that because the past, the present, and the future is all happening at once. So you said about like the indigenous people, them take it like it's not the fact I'm harping on the past, it's because it's the fact they still doing it, they still lying in my face, and they still lying to everybody else. So me being me, I know how to delineate between the two. Like, hey man, they still my enemy. They still lying. So how can I not so-called harp on it? I'm not the fact I'm harping on it. I'm telling the truth. I'm on their ass for life. As long as I'm in this body, I'm gonna be on their ass.
That's a good thing. That's what we should be doing. It just sucks that they've done this all around this realm, man, to dark
Right,
people, light people. The only
right.
people they didn't get too good is the Asian people. You ever notice that? How China won't let America have no bases there, right? These countries ain't. Some of these countries, like Russia, they're not playing China. In America, don't even like China's deep. People forget China's like I think one of the deepest countries when it comes to people.
It's a
And
big.
India,
You know what? Shout out to my man Young Cable. I had him on a panel 2 weeks ago. He had said something real intriguing, real interesting. He said, "You notice you never really seen a pregnant Chinese woman?" I said, "No, I haven't." He said they got a cloning center under Beijing. One of them, I think Beijing, but they cloning these Chinese people. He said, "Why you think it's so many of them?" He said, "Because they were going to war against the forgot who they was going to war with.
Mongols.
Against the Tartarians." He said the Tartarians was fucking those new age Chinese people up, so they had to keep cloning them. So this is why you never really see a pregnant Chinese woman because those are clones. You got to think about the original Chinese man, the Asiatic that's dark complected. That's a real Asian person, not the one you see over here running a Chinese restaurant selling a dog and cat.
Hold on, sorry, Truzon. Hold on, Jay Height, and I'm gonna look. If not, I'll make another email. I don't understand why it wouldn't be working, but let me check right now.
He said somebody said keep spreading the word. Yeah, man, I know what I'm talking about, bro. I appreciate that. What's your name? Craig Carey. I appreciate that. Yeah, I can't. I'm telling the truth. You know, sometimes the truth hurt. So I'm saying all those new Chinese people, those are clones. Those are replicas of the original Asiatic man that's dark complected. That's why I'm saying it's why so many people in India too. It's a billion of them.
There's a white devil, an Asian devil. Truzon, tell him about the black devil, man. I don't even
Shit,
feel right.
the
When
black
he be rapping that in that song, I'd be like the white devil. I don't know. It's just
the black nobility, the black Moors, the ones that gave the edification on how to take the goddamn land. They gave the U.S. government. Who you think's controlling the U.S. government? It's the black Moors, man. Motherfuckers that look just like me. The black nobility is controlling your U.S. government. These entities have been in control for the longest, man. I'm telling y'all, go look up the black Moors and look up the black nobility. That's who runs this fucking show, man. That's who
you said the
controls.
Blackamoors, the
Yes,
Blackamoors.
the Blackamoors. They're called the Blackamoors, bro, because they studied Moorish science. Who you think civilized them? The Moors civilized the United States government when they got.
Damn.
Got
That
think
sounds like the 5%ers, man. They're based off science. They talk about science a lot. 5%
that's
and
who
math.
civilized them, bro. That's who civilized your bro. You gotta think they came over here, bro. If you go back and do your research, when they was over there in Europe, man, they was so uncivilized, bro. They was shitting and pissing out the castle windows, bro. When they got here as pilgrims, man, they brought us disease, death, and famine and dark magic. They
Those were
took
the first drug dealers, bro. The pilgrims. They had the pills and the grams.
damn. Yeah, bro. But listen what I'm saying, bro. They came when they came here as pilgrims, bro. I'm indigenous, so my ancestors, when they got here, bro, they brought all that shit here with them. Disease, we didn't have disease over here, bro. They brought that shit here with them. So we civilized them. My ancestors civilized them, and then you go back. The Moors went over there to Europe to civilize them because they was shitting and pissing out the castle windows. They was eating each other, bro. They was cannibals.
Yeah, what's up, True Zone? What's up, Charles?
What's up, Cage?
Yeah,
Somebody, hey
man.
man, somebody in the
Yeah,
comments, let me know if I'm wrong, man.
I know that the people that came over here, they gave the natives fucking smallpox infested blankets and shit.
Yeah,
That's
bro,
all.
those were my ancestors, bro. The real indigenous copper color motherfucker look just like me, bro. Not those Siberians. This is no shade. I got much love for the Siberians and the Mongoloids, the $5 Indians. This is no shade towards y'all because the United States government used y'all as a weapon, used y'all as a tool. They got y'all, they gave y'all our identity in order to in this chess game. So this is no shade towards y'all. This is just facts. So somebody that's indigenous, like Kay just said, they came over here and brought us disease. We didn't have disease until they got here.
Yeah, it was like one of the first forms of biological warfare. You know, and they did it on purpose. They knew it would fuck them up. But yeah, man, technically I'm a first generation Canadian, so none of my family had nothing to do with that shit.
Yeah, it's nothing towards you, bro. It's nothing towards like
that,
no, it's not.
that's the
It's
first thing I asked my grandfather. You know,
right,
I was like,
right,
Gramp, in school, man, they're teaching us that all white people had slaves, and that's when my grand started explaining to me that we were slaves. Um,
right. That's not. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. History was told in reverse. Everything's inverted here in this matrix because they had to invert everything. Everything's inverted. Everything is told vice versa. So they told us that we were slaves until you start looking at the etymological means of slave. It means Slav. That's a
Yeah,
European.
like Slavic. I was just gonna mention that. You know, it's
Yeah, yeah. A
Indo-European.
lot of your ancestors came over here Slovakian immigrants, but they were slaves. They were indentured service. A lot of those Native Americans, those $5 Indians, came over here as Huns. They came over here as slaves too for the Europeans. They was putting them to work.
I think my grandpa was a Mason because he used to sit in a chair with his legs crossed like a Mason, and when he would be thinking, he would put his two fingers up to his temple. Even though that's a pose a lot of people do, but he was in the Navy and he used to go to the lodge. He had to pay his dues every month. He would always talk about it. But I never seen him in no apron or nothing like that. So maybe he was just a
They
part of
don't,
the lodge.
they don't wear
Bro,
that outside the lodge though. They
bro,
don't wear
what's
that.
that guy's name that was over here the other day? The last panel I was on, OTW Live. I was on his. I went on his panel. I was listening to one of his lives yesterday, and it was an indigenous dark complected brother over there, and he was talking about melanin, and he was like, I was asking people in the comments, what's this guy's channel, man? He was dropping some real gems. He was over there schooling them about melanin, about how photosynthesis is melanin, and how powerful melanin is, how powerful dark matter energy is. He was like on some next level shit. I don't know if he was. I don't know if you heard the guy Cage, but he was dropping some heavy gems over there.
Oh yeah, nah, I wasn't tuning in.
I want to know why these celebrities, when they look like Bro Sanchez made a good point. He said when these celebrities first start, they're all high and vibrant with life. And then after a while, man, you look at them 10, 11, probably less than that. You look at them through their career, they start looking more darker, more like they're going over to this alleged dark side, right? That's how they look. Their eyes look more alive when you look into them. Then they start wearing glasses or fucking, what are them things you put over your eyes? They're like lenses you put in your eyes. Not the ones that make you see, the ones that change the color of your eyes.
Contact lenses, but they're
Yeah,
color changing ones.
contact. But for the most part, they wear glasses, and when they don't have them on, to me, it looks like there's no more life left in them.
You gotta think that they've never had life. You gotta think demons dwell in the false light. Look at the artifact, the picture of Jesus Christ, of Caesar Borgia, whatever you want to call him. He has false light behind him. So demons dwell in the false light. They tell you stay out of the dark. Demons don't dwell in the dark room. They dwell in this matrix, in this light, cold light down in the false light. So those celebrities are all soulless entities, man. None of them have souls. People say they start out with no, they all souls. You gotta think a lot of those celebrities are Cabbage Patch Kids too. They lab grown. This is why they don't attend the same schools as we do. If you watch the movie of Harry Potter, they show you in that movie where all them celebrities go. They go to schools you never heard of. They get programmed to program you. Because think about it, everybody wants to emulate their favorite celebrity. Think about the chicks back in the day. They wanted to dress like Britney Spears. I'm just using that as an example.
Mm.
See what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, there is like schools that teach, I guess, magic, if you want to call it that. There's like there's Rudolph Steiner schools and shit. Or I forgot the name of it, but it's like it's based out of Germany, or they're all around the world. But that
Right.
guy, you
So
ever looked into Rudolph Steiner?
I can hear you, Kate.
Rudolph Steiner. They have these Rudolph Steiner schools all across the world. And it's a whole different curriculum, kind of like what you're describing there.
Right. Right. And a lot of them don't have souls. All celebrities, all politicians, all world stage puppets. I know for a fact they all soulless beings, man. Because in order to do the things that they do behind the scenes, you have to be soulless. You have to be lab grown.
You got to get initiated.
Right, and initiated too.
Yeah.
But you gotta think, you never seen nobody that you grew up with, a so-called quote unquote normal person, make it in Hollywood. These people are all, lab made. They all
I know.
rooted in Hollywood.
I know a couple that I grew up and they're huge now in music and shit.
So
But
yeah,
the funny thing is though, they all go to this one school. It's called Forest Hill. It's the same school Drake went to here in Toronto. And like everyone who went to that school, not everyone, but a lot of them, they're all like either actors, actresses, fucking musician, something like that.
right. And that coincides with the title of Charles' video. The government, they're all actors. All of them are actors. This is why they were saying act. This is why when they come out with these bills, they say Act 205, Act 207, because these are just acts. These are actors. The world's a stage. It's a movie.
Yep. Yeah, that's for sure. You know, even our prime minister here, he was literally a fucking drama teacher, an acting teacher in high school.
To my Trudeau.
Yeah. Trudeau used to be a high school drama teacher, teaching kids how to act.
Because that motherfucker's an actor, bro. They all tied into the cabal, man, to the Khazarian mafia, the Jesuit. These are
Look,
just
even
low level puppets, man.
look, even Trump used to be an actor. Like, you know, he used to have a TV show before he became the president.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, Trump is one of the biggest puppets of all time. Trump's been around since like the 80s. That's why it blows my mind that most of the populace, they think that this character's gonna come bring them liberation, and it's gonna be. They gave this puppet some type of savior complex. In all actuality, is leading all these people straight to the slaughterhouse, just like in 2019. They was all led to the slaughterhouse via Operation Warp Speed, via the United States demonstrative government.
Which one? What's the Operation Warp Speed?
It happened in matter of fact, view something on my channel. I'm gonna go get that video clip and I'm gonna post it on my channel. Operation Warp Speed was them getting everybody inoculated, bringing in the epidemic in 2019.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that's what they called it. Yeah.
Yes, they called it. Trump. They did a news briefing.
All right. Sorry about that. I had to feed my gremlin. But Jay Heighton, yeah, I got those if you're still here. I'm gonna answer you back as soon as let me do it now.
Yeah, salute
What's up,
nigga.
Naga?
So
Naga's in the building.
Yeah,
What's up?
salute, man. What's going on, fellas?
What's up, Naga dog?
You already, man. You know, just living.
Yeah, I
What?
feel
Alright,
that.
I'll answer him.
But yeah, I heard Joe was talking about people acting, actors and stuff like that. I and it made me think. It made me think like, damn, this is the reason why they're trying to groom all of us, to be actors. Willingly. This is the reason why they tell us that we gotta take actions. You know an actor is one who take actions, right? And you know what people would say, they say actions speak louder than words, right?
Right.
So this is the reason why I keep saying that ain't nothing real in the matrix. Everything is fake,
No,
right?
yeah,
Even
not at all. This is why they say, hey, Johnny had an episode last night. You should have been there. He had a big old episode. You know, somebody goes on the SQ page. He had an episode last night. He went crazy. Life's a movie, man. It's a script.
yeah, man. So everything, everything like you said is being script, man. It's a script tour, right? It's a scriptor. I think I put it in somebody chat before. These creatures, is on the scriptor. You know what I'm saying? So they touring, based on the script, and we know what the script is. It's only one script. It's only one script. That's called the Bible. That's it. It's only one script. That's called the Bible. That's called the scriptures, and everything is based around it. Even your own life. Even your own life is based around
laws, yeah,
scriptures.
laws, the court, everything. It's the original script for humanity, for society. Society's running off a script, right? So you need a basis or a foundation to run it off.
Yeah, and it's the script.
Yeah, and then look at
Because it's the
computing.
script is the what led these people to Exodus. Is the script that led these people to mass uh uh migration, to a mass exodus. Is the scriptures.
And what do you do? What do you do when you go get your pharmaceuticals? You get your prescription filled.
Mhm.
Prescription filled.
What's up, Gabriel? That's because you're following the script. You're taking your alchemy, your fucking drugs. That shit's putting you under a trance.
Oh yeah.
That's what it is. Your prescription.
And then you look at the in computer programming, it says a script is a program or a sequence of instructions that is interpreted or carried out by another program rather than by the computer processor.
Yeah, but that's all. That's the thing, though. What I'm trying to say is that all of us is a part of the scripture, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of us is a part of fulfilling the scripture. It's not just about them. It's about us too. Nothing about us is real. This is why we keep saying that we've been lying to our whole life. So we've been living a lie our whole life.
Yeah, but there's a difference for sure. Cause they're on they're doing it blindly. You know, they're just doing it without any knowing. Most people. At least we're in the know for most of this shit. They just do it and think it's a normal life, and
No,
that's what
they
you're
don't want to
supposed
know
to do.
because they doing it. They don't want to know because this is the reason why they sleep,
So
to
you
change
think
the
everyone
American
don't want
dream,
to know?
A
to
lot.
change.
You
Bro,
can't say
hold
everyone don't want to know. We
Yeah,
on.
haven't
everybody.
spoken. We
If
haven't
yeah,
spoken to them.
Hold on.
right,
Hey, hold on. I was gonna say something real quick. A lot of them do know, bro. I was talking to my barber one day. I was dropping gems on him. He's like, "Come on, Kentrell, man." He said, "I know this shit's a lie. Just let me live in my illusions. Let me live in my fairy tale, man." He said, "I know this shit." He said,
That's
"Oh," he's like,
cipher.
"Yeah."
That's
he said, he
cipher in
said,
the matrix.
"Yeah." He said, "Man, I know voting's an illusion, bro." He said, "Yeah, I know that. Just let me live in my illusions, man. Let me live in my fairy tale." A
yeah,
lot of
this
people
is
are
why.
aware.
Some
This is why
people, dude,
people sleep.
when you get into the occult, like the esoteric, the hidden knowledge of that, yeah, some people they don't want to know because it unlock. Now you're like, that's where the whole idea ignorance is bliss comes from, right? Some people just want to eat their fucking steak and enjoy their steak. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
Yeah, because if
that's
you,
some people, not all of them. A lot of people are truly just asleep and don't have no know of anything.
Yeah,
but
that's
that's
true.
the key,
That's
Charles.
true.
That's the key to not knowing. The key to not knowing is to sleep. Is to be asleep. That's the key. So this is the reason why when you're trying to wake these people up, they probably tear your ass down. They probably tear your ass up trying to wake them one of these people up.
It's like
They don't want
turning
to
a,
know, but not everyone wants to know this shit. You know, they'd rather
it's
just
like
go on with
turning,
their regular life. That's it.
it's like trying to turn an NPC into a playable character.
They
Yeah,
showed y'all ninjas, and they showed y'all ninjas in that movie They Live. Dude beat the shit out of Roddy Piper for his to stay asleep. He's like, man, I'm not putting them glasses on. So you try to take your spiritual discernment, those They Live glasses, and put it on somebody else's or doom out of God, or they don't want it. No, hell no. I want to stay asleep in the Matrix. Don't try. Hey man, it's 5 o'clock. Don't come waking me up, man. They'll
And he
fight you.
forced them. He
but
They'll
that's
forced
fight.
the
them.
They'll
Like,
fight for the.
put
They'll
these
fight for the
on.
program. They'll fight for their illusion and shit. They'll get pissed at you. But
but that's the thing
it's
though.
like
That
this. Hold on 1 second, Nick. It's like in the Matrix shows it talks a lot about this with Cypher and the State. But the other one is like, remember when Neo is going to see the Oracle, and everyone in there is children except Neo, and then Morpheus is like, it's dangerous to wake people up after a certain age. You know, the program's too powerful. It's been
What do
established.
you,
that's a
Right.
fact.
what
That's
do you
true.
think? Let me just say this real quick. What do you think is better? Do you think we should just leave people alone and let them figure it out on their own and carve their own path? And it's up to them, or should we be like the Rodney Piper and this guy fight and he forced them to put the glasses on? Do you
Nah,
force people or do
No,
you let them
you
figure it
don't
out on their
force.
own?
That's like
you
kind of
can't force
fucking with
them.
people's free will. You don't want to fuck with people's free will. You can present the information.
Right.
They can do whatever they want with it. You don't force it on nobody.
Cage, you took the words right out of my mouth, bro. I was going to say the same thing. You can't force that on anybody because it go against their free will, and that breaks galactical laws.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that. So they gotta want to put those spiritual glasses on themselves and raise themselves in frequencies and consciousness. You can't do that. You can plant seeds and it's like, hey man, voting's an illusion. They might 2 years later down the road, they might come back to you and say, hey man, you know what? You was right. I did that with my mom last year, but 2 years ago, my mom, she was in denial about the whole inoculation. I was telling her that it was detrimental to her anatomy. And she came to me 2 years later, and she said verbatim, hey son, I want to apologize. You was right. I did my own research and I found out that the inoculation was nefarious. But it
Yeah,
took
you
me,
let
it
people
took me to plant that
know.
seed. It took for me to plant that seed in her 2 years ago, for her to come back 2 years later to tell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah, for
my
example,
dad
look,
owns his own business, and he said to me after, he's like, "Son, I don't even know why I got it." I'm like, "Yeah, you should have fucking listened." That's
look,
fine.
right? Sugar don't go around and tell everybody, look, I'm sweet, everybody. Come get some of me. Sugar don't walk around telling people that. Neither salt do and tell people that I'm salty, right? It's just that people that need salt, they go to the salt, right? People that need sugar go to the sugar, right? And that's how it is with this thing. That's why me, I stop, going around, telling people, oh, we gotta wake up, we gotta do this, we gotta do that, because is what I'm saying. People, that is in is putting yourself, in danger, in the crossfire, because these people you know, they love their experience, man. You know, but that's why I say it's everybody. That's why I say it's everybody. That's a part of it. Is everybody is a part of the program, man. The only way you can. That's why I keep saying you can't be real in the matrix, because the whole matrix system is fake. How can you be real in something fake? That's like saying, yo, look, I'm going to the metaverse and be myself. That's impossible. It's impossible to go to the metaverse and be yourself.
Well,
By
you
the
can
act
be
of,
in the matrix, but not of the matrix. Kind of like be like quote like be in the world, but not of
When
the
I,
yeah.
world.
listen, hey, Naga, I kind of I'm gonna disagree with you on that one, bro. Because I did a
Go ahead.
panel with a girl named Daniel, and we was conveying to each other like, look, we like when we talk to each other, we gotta talk to each other via YouTube and Facebook. We don't come in contact with real people like ourselves. So when we say real, that's what we mean. So a real soul, somebody that can see beyond the veil. That's a real person to me. Somebody that's fake to me, that's somebody that's like a walking, talking dead. That's somebody that's following monotheistic religion. That's somebody that's buying into this political paradigm. That's somebody that's buying into this whole social construct. That's somebody that looks up to the sky and see chemtrails being sprayed on them and thinking them shits is clouds, thinking that shit's organic. That's somebody that's not real to me. Somebody that's real to me is like people on this panel that can get on here and express themselves and really be able to break those barriers. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, bro. It's like me. It's like us right here. We consider us to be real people, real beings. But at the end of the day, if we're going to be real with ourselves, we know that's not true because we have to go outside. By going outside, right? We have to obey the cops. We have to obey the law. We have to obey all of these. Is a part of the matrix.
Right.
So
Right. I see what you're saying.
we have to act like we fall in line. We agree to these things, which make us fake, right? So by going and say these people fake, that in fact make us hypocritical because we fake
Uh,
just like them.
Me,
That's
me, 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 for me personally, bro, I don't know. You might speak for yourself, bro. I don't know. I speak for somebody else. Me personally, bro, I've always disobeyed this matrix, bro. Even as a youth, bro, I can go into like the depth, but I'm not gonna do all that. I can remember me being in the fifth grade and the principal of my school and the janitor holding me down on the floor because I'm in there fighting. I'm fucking up the whole principal's office, throwing shit on the floor, knocking the family pictures on the floor. Me going against the status quo. I've
Yeah,
always
but
done.
that's what makes you realize that this shit is fake. That doesn't make you any well. Speaking from that my perspective, I went through the same shit too. I've never been, the type to comply to the law as a child, whether it was my parent, whether it was school, whether it was church, right? These are the things that's awakened me to make me realize this shit is fake. But this shit doesn't make me realize that I'm real,
Right,
right?
right,
It just made me realize, yo, look, this whole shit is fake. Like I'm living a whole fake ass, lie. And we
right.
fake ass people, even my parents, right? Even the people close to you, the people you say that you love, right? So like I'm saying, on a grand scheme, right? It doesn't make me any better than these people because I know what's going on. It just means that what it means, I just know what's going on. But I'm
Right.
still living the fake life. I'm still eating the fake food. I'm
I see,
still
yeah,
eating
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Like that's it. That coincides with what Cage was just saying. Be in the matrix, but not of the matrix. So
exactly. That's
that's
why
saying the same thing Cage was saying.
yeah, that's why I agree with him. That's why I the conversation is about me and you because you're the one that's say you had a disagreement with me, so I was showing you why I'm saying it because I don't want it to.
It's not the fact I'm really disagreeing with you. Like our perspectives might be different on it. You might think one way on it. Johnny Boy might think one another way. Cam might think. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why I took it in a way of misunderstood. Just because I misunderstand what you're saying don't mean that you're incorrect. You know what
Right,
I'm saying? It just means that I don't understand what you're saying enough for me to agree with it.
right,
And that's why I went on and and I'll go on and make sure that you know what I'm saying, you comprehend what I was saying, and by making you comprehend what I was saying, it bring forth agreement.
right. Somebody saying everything's temporary here, and that's what I'm saying. That goes to the title of the video. The government's temporary, temporary. Everything's temporary. None of this shit lasts forever, man. You can leave your avatar right now, come back, incarnate into a new
Yeah.
vessel, come back down here. It's gonna be a different system.
When the government falls, that's revelations, man. That the whole plan, all their plans are in the Bible and Revelations. That's their plans. That's why it's gonna play out because they're the Bible.
Right, right. It's revelations. Everything's being revealed to us in full time. Revelations. Think about it. Revealed. Everything is being revealed.
Yeah, but also everything is a paradox. So everything that's being revealed is also being revealed. Just like everything that was discovered in the 1800 was covered.
Yeah, the veil is being unveiled. We being
No.
revealed to the veil, being
Yeah.
unveiled.
Right. So, this is the reason why it's important, right, for us to pay attention because some of us, right, the veil going back over our eyes because we didn't take it serious, right? And some of us, right, the veil going to be fully lifted because we took it serious.
Right,
So
right,
basically that's going to let us out of the matrix, right?
right. I
And
see.
that's
I
going
see.
to
I
and
see.
it's, and it's going to lead some people deeper in the matrix.
Right. I see I see a timeline split right now. Because like Charles was just saying about the Bible, you're gonna have people that's gonna ascend and go to heaven consciously. I'm not saying a physical place. You could be standing next to a motherfucker that's still thinking on a two-dimensional mindset. They still follow Catholicism. They still follow this whole 2D, 3D mindset, and you can be thinking 5D and beyond. So that's the great separation. That's what I'm saying. I feel like it's two timeline shifts. I feel like you got us, we ascending in consciousness and frequency, and you got people that they gonna still be stuck in the 3D shit. They still gonna be stuck in the matrix. So that's that great separation they was
Yeah,
talking about too.
yeah, because whatever don't break you, make you stronger. So some of these people in the matrix is not strong enough to to branch out and be on their own. So they have to go, through another cycle in the matrix. For some of us, right, we reach the peak, right? We're strong enough to be on our own, like that, like the birds, right? Some of the birds is strong enough to fly on their own, but some of the birds, the mother have to push them out of the nest.
Facts. Facts. And plus you gotta think, Naga, and everybody on the panel, everybody just casted their vote to stay in the matrix. That's what that
Mhm.
was all about. For one, it was energy harvesting, and for two, they voted to stay in the matrix. They say, "Hey, we're gonna hold a vote. Who wants to stay? Who wants to stay in the matrix? Who wants to stay? Keep this government, this patrilineal system going." That's what that was all about. Different timeline shifts. That's why I've been seeing 111. I've been seeing 1111 for the past 2 weeks straight, every day.
And truth. We're talking about how everyone's an actor, an actress, and the world's a stage. Look, what's a cast then? A cast as in,
Mm,
you know,
damn.
and then also casting as in like witchcraft or casting a spell.
I was just about to say that. Yeah. It
Right,
all
right.
has to do with because technology is witchcraft. It's all of it. It
Yeah,
ties
so
in with
people
alchemy,
are casting
witchcraft.
the new actors and actresses.
You could know how to cast spells. That should be the first thing because you speak before anything. The second thing, you got to know the elements to do witchcraft for the most part.
Well, no,
You got
like
to master the elements.
before anything you think, it's in the mind before you speak. Right? There's
Right.
another process going
And
on before you speak.
right. Ain't nothing faster than the speed of thought. The speed of thought is faster than the speed of light. Okay,
The
yeah.
speed of sound.
The speed of sound and the speed of thought. Just think
Well,
about how fast we say
wouldn't
these
the
words.
thought be the speed of sound? Because you're thinking it, right? You could hear it. I don't know.
And, thoughts are electromagnetic in nature. Yeah, it is faster than the speed of light, technically,
Yeah,
because
thought
there's
it
like
was faster than the speed of light.
yeah, because it's all interconnected. It's automatically there.
Because you speak
And
it
then
into
you gotta.
existence. Think about the
Then
God of that damn allegorical Bible. In the first 7 days of so-called creation, let there be light, let there be water in the heavens. We do the same shit. Like I said before,
where
on
do
your
thoughts come from? That's the real question.
from your you said where do they come from?
Yeah, that's
You
my
got
question. I've always wondered.
as above, so below. It comes from the ethers. Remember, because you got billions of neurons inside of your brain. Those are all different galaxies. So everything's coming from the ether. You pulling it in from the astral. Whatever
That's
you
what
think,
I think,
you
but
putting it in.
I don't have like facts. I think the same thing, but I don't really have like hardcore facts to back it.
What fact do you need?
Well,
What facts do you need? A publication? Like, remember what you said, bro. Think about remember what you said. You say when you get information, you getting it from them. You can go within and get these answers. Nobody needs me to tell them anything. You don't need nobody to tell you anything. Any answers that you're looking for, Charles, man, go within and get those answers that you're looking for, bro. You don't need to read a book. You don't need to read a publication. You don't need me to tell you nothing.
Well,
You don't need Cage to tell you nothing.
I just like to present it to people who be like, man, you got receipts,
Yeah, see what
and
you
then
can.
nah,
just for
man.
that reason,
Bro,
for the most part.
listen, bro. At this point, we gotta get to a point like where we are our own insurance, bro. Because when we doing things like that, it's to make it's the people will never rely on themselves because they're always gonna look for something to rely on, a reference point. When you are the point, X mark the spot. You are the point that everything, the central point that everything is coming from, right? So your thought is coming from, from you. When you're talking about the ether, that right, your thought is coming from the other you, because it's a W, it's two of you, right? It's two of you, your higher self and your lower self. So your thought is coming from your lower self, which is the center you, right? The center is the sender, the one sending the thought, the one sending the signal is you. It's not like nothing outside of you, because you are a part of the all. You are a part of the all. The mind is all and the universe is mental. So you are a part of the all. So your thought is coming from you.
Right. You heard what your boy Trump just said on that damn speech. The universe is constantly expanding that dark matter energy. And that motherfucker said that. I said, oh, no, that went over everybody's head, right? I said, okay. He telling us, he said, dark, that was okay, dark matter energy. I'm okay. I said, okay, I see what he's saying. All right, I got it.
Yeah, man. We are, we. This is why we're gonna be able. We are able to be, to rely on our own. Remember what the Bible said. Do not lean on your own understanding. You know what I'm saying? So basically, letting do not stand on your own. Do not stand. You know what I'm saying? By yourself. But it's because you're the reason why you can't rely on the matrix is because you're asleep, right? They want you to depend on them to keep this thing going. But once you wake up, right, you should rely on your own understanding. You should know yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what we was talking about. A lot of people don't want to know who they are because they over here, they're suppressing who they really are, right? They're suppressing who they really are in the name of the devil, in the name of negative, in the name of bad energy, right? So when you come in contact, once you wake up and realize that is, the whole thing you was criticizing, right? You was talking bad about is yourself, right? That can cause a heart attack.
Real shit. I was looking at someone interesting the other day. It's the Ark of the Covenant. Apparently, it's in Ethiopia where there's like a one monk that guards it his entire life, never leaves, and no one's allowed in or out. And for some reason, everyone who gets it, they usually die very quickly. They get like blind and they end up dying from like kind of like radiation sickness or something. You
Yeah,
know.
this is why a lot of people don't. This is why a lot of people don't want to know. Why you think a lot of people that that had a near death experience when they come back, they either a spiritualist, right, or they are a fucking or the biggest religious ever, right? That that's what it
Yeah.
is. When you had a near death experience, right? You either the biggest religious person ever, right, or your spiritual journey begins because you understand that, all right, look, you either understand that the light is you, or you understand that, all right, there is something greater than yourself, right? And you're going to be religious now you're going to be outside of the way that they thought religion is. You're going to have your own way, but you're still going to hold on to the religious principle because you're not strong enough to be on your own. But some people, they just get out, the coma, the hospital, ready to be on their own. That's their journey started.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I came back into consciousness, full consciousness, when I was 33. Ain't that ironic? 33, man.
Mm.
Jacob's ladder. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. When I had mine, I got
Give me
I
one
got
minute. I'm
snapped.
gonna come back. I'm gonna come back to the 33. Give me like 2 minutes.
Hmm. Yeah. When I had mine, it didn't really change that much for me at all. I was already on the path when I had mine.
Right, right. It was the same for me. I was already on that path. I felt like I've been like this all my life. I know I've been like this all my life. It just all happened at once at the age of 33, man. I was gonna ask you, Cage, man, before I get up off here, are you real big like on synchronicities, like numbers and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, 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 for sure.
Because bro, I've been seeing 111. 1111 and 144 a whole lot lately. Well, I've been seeing 144 every day the past year, and I just started seeing 1111 every day the past 2 weeks. What's your take on that?
Yeah, it's trying to show it's trying to show you to pay attention to something. I think it's trying to reveal something to you. Right. So when you see these numbers, you gotta think like, what was I thinking before this happened, and what am I thinking after, and what's going on around me. It's trying to make it pay attention to something. I think.
Right.
Yeah. So
Me
next time
personally,
that
I've been
happens,
seeing
just
that. Me personally, I've been seeing that for the past, you know, 8 years. I've been seeing, 1111, and it to me, that's
That's a
letting me
drink.
know. To me, that's letting me know it's a, it's a, it's basically letting me know about my higher self, right? And if you're not aware, if you're not in tune with your higher self, it would let you know that you're in a battle, right? It will let you know, it revealed that a position.
oh yeah.
Right. And that's for me too. That lets me know I'm in alignment with the cosmos and my higher self. Like you said, it's a battle between higher self and lower self, the battle between the devil and God. That's what I feel like.
You
That's what
said
God.
11:11.
Yeah, I've been seeing 1111 like every day for the past 2 weeks, a month, probably longer than that.
Well, here I got some for you for 11:11.
Yeah, I
I
dropped
sent,
a video.
bro, I did a job. I sent the invoice this morning to get paid, and guess what was on the damn invoice slip? 1111. I said, God damn.
Mm,
I know people that used to drink this 11:11,
that's a fact.
and that shit's deadly. But look at this picture. I had to leave for a second to go put this picture together, but I was looking at The Wizard of Oz, and when I'm looking at this picture, I said, man, that fucking green dude reminds me of this guy.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Tell me you
cool.
don't, man. Tell me
Yeah,
you don't.
that's a fact.
Yeah, I got a really in-depth video on that True Zone. It's called "Why I Keep
I,
Seeing
don't-
1111." It's
I got
it's in
mixed
the
feelings
private.
about my bad, Cage. I got mixed feelings about the whole Yakub story now, bro. Because now I'm kind of like, man, that's some. I feel like that's some old made up shit now.
It's
I
been
think it is.
I thought it's been you.
That's some old.
I thought
Yeah,
it's
that's some
been
made up
you.
shit.
Because you can't find the origin of Jacob's story outside of a religious book.
You know who wrote Yakub? I think it was York Peppermint Patty. I mean, my bad.
Dr. York.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's one of the people that basically he one of the people that popularized it.
yeah.
Now, the one thing I can say about Dr. York, he got some good teachings. He do. Some of his teachings, I'm like, okay, some of that do make sense, but then you gotta think they hit you with some fallacy too. The same thing with Rashad Jamal. Rashad Jamal, I know for a fact he was an agent, but some of that stuff he was saying, like, okay, it kind of resonated with me. I'm like, okay, something that does make sense. A lot of these so-called spiritual gurus, they're gonna give you some type of truth, and then they're gonna hit you with a lie, with a fallacy, with
But
with, with
that's
pseudo,
that's
with
that's
pseudo.
that's that's how it is in the Matrix. It go back to the Matrix again. No truth, in the Matrix is a whole truth. Every truth is
Everything's a
half.
half truth or a half
It,
lie.
right. So everybody is an agent. I'm an agent too, right? If we all actors in the Matrix, everybody in the Matrix is acting, right? Therefore, what that make you an agent? And this is why a lot of people call themselves a wordsmith. Oh, I'm a wordsmith. Or I break down. I do this. I do all that. This is us. This is us. Basically personify ourselves. Like Neo, like Morpheus, like Trinity, like all these characters. In the Matrix, because we know this shit is fake. Just like these characters in the Matrix knew the Matrix was fake.
Because I kind of feel like that Yakub shit, and I feel like that doctor. I feel like that's kind of putting us back in a bubble with that whole Hebrew Israelite doctrine of hating Caucasians. So that's my feeling on that now. Like I kind of feel like they trying to put me back inside of a
That
bubble.
that that's what they're doing. They don't want. It's like
They don't,
like
they don't want
let's
people
say
coming together,
you live
bro.
in a white town your whole life. You know, they know as soon as you leave that white town, you're gonna see the world for what it is, and you'll figure out. In that white town, they're teaching you that the Asian's the enemy, the black person's the enemy. But once you leave, you're gonna realize that ain't true. And I think
Right.
that's what happens with a lot of these organizations. Once they see the world, they realize that that shit was just a fallacy, a
Right.
lying doctrine.
The area I live in, bro, I live in a so-called conservative area full of like Caucasians. Like the area, I live in a rural area, and white supremacy is very prevalent here. It's very it's all around. Because I went to a church one time. I went clean their windows, and they had a picture of that Caesar Borgia all throughout the church. And I'm thinking to myself, I said, this is where they get this white supremacy from, because this is all they see. This is all they see. This is all they know. If you, I'm like, when I'm riding around town in my car, they got Trump stickers and Trump flags, Trump memorabilia all over their house. So this is all they know. Christmas time coming around, they got Satan claws in the yard. The white guy, some fat white guy. That's all they know. So I can kind of understand on why they think the way they think.
Nah, that's not what justified the way they think. The way they think is their authority. Is them thinking that they're above every species, right? Or every life form on this planet. That's where white supremacy come from. Because you have tribes, right, that don't even know white people exist, right? These people don't feel like they superior, right? They have authority over all life form. They still respect. In fact, they respect the animals, right? If they respect the animals, right, next to them. Imagine seeing other being that look like them, right? Or that intelligent like them. They will have the same respect to these people until these people show, that they are a danger to these people. So it's the same way, in your true a natural state, nobody, right, will feel supreme over anybody, right?
It's top behavior. It's learned behavior.
Well,
Yeah, that's
I, can like Cage? Can you say the same thing like in the area you live in that you see that when you look around? Like, because that's what I see when I'm in the town I live in when I look around. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just that they've been programmed inside of a program. Like
It's a
Nago was
bit
just saying it's a
different.
superiority it's a superiority complex that they have.
Not, not where I'm at, man. I'm in Canada. I'm in Toronto. It's the most culturally diverse place in the entire world.
Oh man, the place I'm in, bro, it's just one way, man. It's like they wanted like the 1950s and 1940s. They thinking like I don't know, man. It's
hey,
hard for me
it's
to
crazy.
explain.
It's crazy. I just look at the time. It says 11:11,
Dun
right?
dun dun.
Oh shit, you see that? 11:11.
I'm about to pull up a
Crazy.
video on the 11:11 to explain it if I can, Charles. I just pulling it up
Yeah,
here.
play that real quick, bro. I'm about to step aside, man. Hey, shout out, Charles. Thanks for having me up, bro. I'm gonna mute up for a little minute. I gotta get ready to go take care of my business, bro. I'm gonna be listening.
All right, one love.
Yeah, I gotta jump off in like a half hour myself. So we got a while. 250, 30 plus 20, yeah, around there. Yeah, I think that's where they created Yakub from, the picture.
Yeah,
Nah, in
that's some
fact,
old fairy tale shit. But one thing I can say, man, I'm gonna say this before I hop off, man. One thing I can say that's what I'm saying. When I was talking about so-called Chinese people earlier, I feel like those are all lab-made beings. Those are all clones. That's why so many of them, and that coincides with what my man Young Cable was saying, that they all made in the underground facility under the city of Beijing, in the cloning facility, because they went to war against the Tartarians. Because if you look at the original Asiatic man, they have woolly hair and copper colored skin. The same thing with the indigenous people here in this geographical landmass. If we
that's crazy.
original, where the hell does everybody else come from? I'm not saying that Yakub story is true. I don't believe in that shit. But I'm saying what I'm asking now. My question now is: people say we shouldn't fall for like the fleshy meat soup. But where the fuck does everybody come from? Because we know we
bro,
different.
bro,
We
bro. Go do your research, bro, on the ancient world, on the nether world, right? On the other world, right? Once you start doing your research, you will realize that The reason why they tell us that the Earth is a globe is to hide them, the other world, right? Is to hide the other world. The reason why we asking where these people is come from is because they are successfully hide the other world in plain sight. Why they talking about it? Why they letting about the two pillars? Why they letting you know about these two things? I mean, all of these things, bro. You gotta do
Really,
some
three
research,
pillars, I
bro.
think.
You gotta do some research on the nether world, right? On the other world, on ancient people talking about other world, people living on other world, right? Once you do that, once you do your research on that, and you will have enough information to let you know,
Right,
all
right.
right.
Hey, hold on, Naga. I feel like my perspective is, man, I feel like those Chinese people are GMO, man. They're genetically modified organisms. This ain't no disrespect. I even feel like the $5 Indian, the Siberian is GMO too, man. And I ain't saying this to be hateful, but just my hypothesis on that. I feel like they GMO, man. We the original. I'm the original. So when you go to
Yeah,
KFC,
but
you
look,
don't. Hold on, bro. Hold on. When you go to KFC, you ain't trying to get extra crispy. You want to get the original chicken.
I like crispy, but
but
You
look
want to get
though,
the original. These niggas artificial.
this type of thinking is the reason why we thought that we think that we were giant, meaning that we technically, right, modified too to be the being that we are today. Because when the more you're looking at in the ancient world, they make it look like, oh, we were giant, we were this, we were that. And the more you look to, you see, oh, these people wasn't never existed. They were this, they were that. You will see that type of mindset will even put doubt on yourself too, will make you question who you are.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I know what's up, man. I know what's up. I just feel like I said earlier, I feel like history so called was told in reverse, man, about everything, man, about me, you, everybody here, man. You know, but I'm gonna do my research. I'm gonna figure this shit out.
But me personally, when I heard the word history, it let me know, okay, it's his story.
It's a
It's
Right,
his
right.
story.
story. So to me, it didn't tell in reverse. It was told the way it was supposed to be told, because that's his story. People tell the story the way they want to tell the story. If they want to start at the end and get to the beginning, if they want to start in the middle, if they want to start to the part that they felt like that more excited for them, it doesn't matter. When
Well,
people have
let me ask
value,
you let me ask you this then. You had quoted a Bible verse earlier. When you go to the book of Revelations, they tell you who the quote unquote original man was. They said hair like wool and skin like burnt brass. They told you who the hell. They told you what was up in that guy. So I'm saying the book is allegorical, but you can take some truth out of that goddamn book. They was telling you who God in the flesh was. Didn't they say that in the Bible?
well,
Who else
yeah,
got hair
they're
like
telling
wool?
you, yeah, through their story, you're going to be included. Just like I could have a dream and you was in my dream, right? And I'm telling you, and I'm talking about you in my dream, and you're like, nah, that ain't me, bro. That ain't me. And I'm like, yeah, that's you in my dream though. So
Right.
when we talk when they're talking about us, or when they're talking about whatever they're doing, it's in their story. They're talking to us. When have we tell ours? What is our story? We stick about history. What about our story?
Well, history is a mystery. Mystery is my story. Because everything, that's what I'm saying, everything for me is a mystery right now. So it's my story. I'm trying to put this shit together.
Yes, that's the thing though. What about our story? Meaning that the collective thing, because the way that they're trying to portray story, right, it's a collective thing, but it's being told in a personal way, right?
Right.
Like a singular way. So where is the mystery that's being told, right, in a collective way that everybody is
How long
included?
is this video? We only got 20 minutes.
Yeah,
So,
you
So
go ahead and get that video, man. I got to step aside, man. I got to roll. Shout out to everybody, man.
Shout out,
plus I
bro.
want to do this video.
It's
Numbers don't lie.
Hey, Naga, one more thing, hey, bro. Put your numbers. Listen, man. Put your number in the back chat. We can do a panel later on or something like that. Because I'm supposed to do one with Genetic Guy, but I'm gonna step aside. Just put your number up so we can set something up, man.
Yeah, and True Zone dropped two new videos today I seen.
Yeah, I did a metaphysical breakdown on that movie, Nightmare on Elm Street. That whole Freddy Krueger character was really a mess with a demon.
it's in the back chat. You could grab it too if you want, Charles or Cage, if y'all need it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, Charles, the video is a little longer than 20 minutes, though. But yeah, I guess I'll play a bit of it quick. It's about the 1111 thing, since you brought it up.
Which has existed for several thousand years. I mean, when we talk about black magic, we are talking about Satanism, necromancy, alchemy, witchcraft, worship of Satan.
Right, so welcome back to the channel, guys. And before we get into today's video, I just wanted to mention, because I did make a community post about it, I know how YouTube like to just not show my...
What was that, Charles?
No, he said, I just want to say, he said, alchemy, witchcraft, blah, 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 is the worship of Satan. And I said, but is Satan really evil, or is that what they just portray? But we'll find out.
Yeah, I think it's like some old interview thing. Like...
A community post to any of you. I made a post just letting you know that my Instagram was hacked. So if you followed my old Instagram, then I'll put a link on the screen for my new one. I'm not entirely sure who did it, but whoever did it hacked my account to push Bitcoin, which I'm not going to lie, I was pretty tight about. Like I always say, my videos take quite a while to make, which is why I post them on a monthly basis, but I am incredibly active on Instagram. So if you're looking for more daily decodes, and honestly, I really do be posting some A1 content on Instagram. I've got some crazy pictures of there are some reptilian eyes that I've got coming up from celebrities that you've probably never seen before. So yeah, if you aren't on my Instagram, I do advise you get on it, because the content I produce on there is very good and it gets a lot of traction. And I think that's why my account was hacked. The best way for me to do it would be in a video. Usually when I've got a bunch of people asking me the same question, there's usually a larger amount of people that applies to as well, that also are going through those experiences. So I thought this would be apt to make. Hopefully you find this video helpful. We will, of course, be touching on some topics that we've already spoken about on this channel, as you know, because all this information is holistic. So as you probably already know, the title of this video is, why do you keep seeing 1111 or 1111? And I went through this personally many years ago, and hopefully I can shed some light on it. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Now, I know many of you on my channel have had some weird experiences, either with how you found my channel or either with what's happened after you've watched some of my videos. For example, I've had people tell me they'll watch one of my videos about a specific number and then proceed to watch the next video, and the likes and comments are the exact same number that they were just learning about. And there's lots of examples like this, and you can actually go through my channel. Most times I've pinned these comments and you can see some of the different experiences that people have when they come to my channel. And honestly, that's nothing to do with me. That's all you and your reaction to the way this particular matrix works. But we will get into that. Once you become aware of the numerical code that lays behind the GUI, and by GUI, I mean everything that we perceive to be real, the overlay, if you must, then your awareness starts to become attuned to different aspects of your environment, namely the numerical part of it. It's almost like a switch goes off in your brain and your body starts to dial in on these codes, which causes them to manifest. Before we begin, I would really like you to drop all preconceived ideas that you have about seeing the numbers 1111, because they're probably wrong. I'm going to be totally honest with you. And I say this myself because I was also really confused by this concept when I was younger and I first got into this information. I remember researching the exact same question when I was around 14 or 15, because I just watched The Number 23 by Jim Carrey, and that film requires an entire separate video, to be honest. I watched that Number 23 film, came out the cinema, and just literally started seeing 23 everywhere. It was really strange. And after doing some very basic research and getting a grips to the idea of numerology and birth numbers, I started seeing 1111, just like some of you guys. And at that time, all that research led me to things like angel numbers, power numbers, and master numbers. If you see 1111, you know you have a guardian angel. You know you're on the right track. The universe is telling you to carry on. You know, that really vague, wishy-washy shit. And I honestly found it infuriating, because it was not the answer I was looking for, and it did not resonate with me at all, if you catch my drift. And I never really liked all the angel number stuff. You know, telling me that 11 is a power number or a master number, but with no real explanation why, just kind of pissed me off, to be honest. And it sort of lends credence as to why people do think this is all quote unquote conspiracy theory. You know, they say 11, 22, and 33 are master numbers. And my fucking question is, why are they master numbers? Can you give me a bit more of an explanation? You can't just use random adjectives to describe numbers and tell me that they're masters. I'd like more, please. This is where I was at. You know, so if you've had a similar experience and you're tired of all the metaphysical jargon, because that's all it is, you know, no explanation, just jargon, then this video is most definitely for you. So first things first, 1111 or 1111 is 4, obviously, because 1 plus 1 plus 1 up 1 is 4. Now, when we look at the Hebrew alphabet, we see that 4 corresponds to Daleth, the 4th letter of the Hebrew alphabet. And remember, all of this information about the connection between numbers and reality is now based in Jewish mysticism, namely Kabbalah. So it makes sense as to why we must look to the Hebrew alphabet to get answers to this. As you can see in the image here, Dalet corresponds to the 14th path on the tree of life, which brings us to the path between Chokmah and Binah, okay, or wisdom and understanding. Now, to fully grasp the meaning of what 1111 or 1111 means, we must take a look at both of these sephirot.
Like written out, doesn't it look like two pillars, kind of like 1 1 1 1, and then like
Exactly. That's why I always do with it. Every time I say the 1 1 1, because 1 is really 2, right? The man and the woman is 1 together. And when you have another man and a woman again, right? Which is 1111, we go back to the 4 that he just described. So he's on point with that.
oh, it gets deep.
And you too.
Yeah.
And examine what they represent on the Kabbalistic tree of life. Before we do that, let me describe to you what the tree of life actually represents, because, excuse me, I know everybody may not understand it and it can be a pretty confusing concept to try and research. Again, this is something else that I had to buy quite a few books for to understand. Probably the best book that I bought was The Secret Teachings of All Ages. That gave you a really good breakdown on both the Tree of Life, the Clip-Off, and Adam Kadmon. So if you guys need a book for reference to go to, you should go and find that book. So yeah, it can be a pretty confusing concept. So what I'm going to try and do is try and break this down as simply as I can, because there's no point in diving into the individual sephirot if we have no comprehension of the big picture. And the Tree of Life is the big picture, trust me.
Yeah, someone wants the link in there, but you guys can search the channel. I don't have the ability to post the links, but you can. It's called Numbers Don't Lie, and the E's are 3s. There's Numbers Don't Lie spelled with 3s instead of E. Anyways.
Now in Hebrew, the term Tree of Life is used to denote the central mystical symbol used in Kabbalah, which is esoteric Judaism. Now, Kabbalists typically refer to this symbol as the 10 sephirot, sephirot meaning spheres. However, the term Tree of Life is more universally known. What distinguishes Kabbalah from every other practice is this theory of the 10 sephirot, or the 10 forces that come between the infinite unknowable God, also known as Ein Sof, and the creation of our world, which you find at the bottom of the tree in the very lowest sephirot called Malkuth. Now, the 10 spheres represent the 10 archetypical numbers, and overall there are 32 paths in the Tree of Life. The first 10 are the sephirot, or the spheres, and the remaining 22 paths corresponds to the lines or energy channels that join all the sephirot together. Each of these paths corresponds to one of the 22 letters in the Hebrew alphabet, and as I previously mentioned, Daleth, which is 4, or door, because Dalet means door in Hebrew, Dalet corresponds to path 14. Now, as I just said, there are 22 paths in total. Okay, now this is where the idea of 22 as a master number comes from, okay, because it's alluding to these 22 paths which represent the royal roads that lead from one archetypical energy center to another, or from one archetypical energy sphere to another. So when you start to research the Tree of Life, you get a bit more meat on the bones of these numbers. You don't just get told, oh yeah, it's a master number, it's an angel number. There's a bit more substance to it, and hopefully this is going to help you understand that. To successfully navigate these paths requires the harmonious blending of the forces represented by the two spheres it unites. For instance, in order to master the 14th path, which we're going to be talking about today, and have the ability to move through it, one must first harmonize the energy spheres that it's connected to, which again in this case is Chokmah and Binah, wisdom and understanding. So understand that to master all 22 paths in the tree of life is to bring balance to every energy sphere, which is another way of saying to bring balance to all the forces in ourselves. Okay, so now we're starting to get a bigger picture of what 22 means, because it's talking about 22 energy bodies that we need to in fact balance out. Because remember, the tree of life lives and breathes in each and every one of us. To put it in simple terms, the tree of life is a diagram that describes the universal laws of reality. Like a fractal, the tree of life is an eternal emanation of the divine principle. It is a macrocosm and microcosm. It lives and breathes within each and every one of us. And together we all form the branches of this tree. The 22 pathways woven by its branches describe how spirit and energy travels in order to make itself manifest into matter. So when you get told that 22 is a master number or a builder number, okay, now we're starting to get more information. It's a builder number because it's talking about the 22 spheres that you must master in order to make things manifest into matter, okay, which again is in the lower half of the tree. If you follow the path downwards, you find the body and our unconsciousness, our unconscious mind, okay? And if you follow the path upwards, you find the divine source of the soul and our higher selves. So this is how the tree is split into two. There are also 4 other quadrants that we'll talk about later, but for the most part, the lower half of the tree symbolizes our unconscious mind, and the higher part of the tree symbolizes the divine source. Now, this ladder to enlightenment can be better understood by analyzing it through similarities with parts of the human body. For example, as you can see here, the crown or kefa is above the head, and the feet are malkuth, which is earth, which is us, which is where we are, and that represents foundation and stability. So you can see what I mean here by it helps to map these spheres onto a human body, and it gives you a bit of context. Now, as I previously stated, each path on the tree of life corresponds to a letter in the Hebrew alphabet. This is important to understand because the Hebrew alphabet is considered to be of great importance as a celestial code or a blueprint to the cosmos. The 13th century Zohar is filled with references about the Hebrew alphabet's importance. Many master Kabbalists have told us before that one can gain supreme knowledge about the universe once you have mastered the Hebrew alphabet. Now, to sum up this rather long explanation, the tree of life is essentially represents a series of divine emanations of God's creation out of itself, out of nothingness, the nature of revealed divinity, the human soul, and man's spiritual path of ascension. All of this can be found in the tree. And it's because of this that the Kabbalists developed the symbol into a full model of reality, using the tree to depict what can only be described as quite literally a map of creation. Right, so I'm glad that little spill's over. I've given you a little bit more information on why 22 is a master number, and we will get to 11 and 33 later on in the video. But remember, the 22 talks about the 22 paths and the different energy channels that all run through these spheres or these sephirot that we all have within us. And that talks about how we go from the unconscious mind into Ein Sof, into the mode of pure spirit, but it also works the other way, top down. It shows us how we can manifest from spirit into matter, okay, from the crown down into Malkuth, down in the earth, and it's by following these 22 paths, okay? That's why 22 is a master number, and that's why 22 is a builder number, because we're building through these channels, through these branches, okay? I hope I've explained that clear enough. Again, 111 takes us to number 4, which is Dalet in the Hebrew alphabet. We know Dalet means door or gate, corresponds to the 14th path on the tree of life. The 2 sephirot connected to the 14th path are Chokmah and Binah, wisdom and understanding. Now that we've spoken about what the tree of life actually represents, now we can take a deeper look at these individual sephirot and see what they're really talking about and what it has to actually do with 1111. Right, so let's start with Chokmah, or wisdom. Now, this is the highest of the right side of the sephirot, and it sits on the pillar of mercy. Chokmah, the second of the 10 sephirot, is the first power of the conscious intellect within creation, and the first point of real existence, okay, since the crown, or Keter, which precedes Chokmah, represents emptiness or nothingness. Okay, so before Chokmah, you have the crown, which is nothingness, and then you move into Chokmah, and this represents the first real power of the conscious intellect. Now, according to the Book of Job, wisdom comes from nothing, which would make sense because the crown is nothing. And where is that wisdom coming from? Is passing through that first energy channel from the crown down into Chokmah. Wisdom comes from nothing. So Chokmah is at the same time infinitely small, yet it encloses the whole of being. But it remains incomprehensible until it is given form and is created in Binah. What this means is that the wisdom we attain whilst in the body of Chokmah, whilst in the sphere of Chokmah, cannot truly be understood until Binah, or until we pass through the door and mediate our powers of understanding. So our wisdom takes form in Binah, which comes from that which we have learned in Chokmah, which emanates down from the crown, okay, or which emanates down from nothingness. Now, in the Zohar, Chokmah is the primordial point that shines from the will of God, which is Ein Sof, and therefore is the starting point of creation. That's very important. So the second Sephirot, Chokmah, is the starting point of creation because it's the first point of intellect that is a direct emanation from nothingness, which is the crown. Now, if we break down the word Chokmah, we see it is divided into these two words here. Koch, which means potential, or Koch, I can't actually say that word, I'm not going to lie, but you can see it on the screen, which means potential, and Ma, which means that which is. So Chokmah means the potential of what is, or the potential to be. This aspect of Chokmah describes the state in relation to the crown, okay, because it's, remember, the crown is emptiness. So when this emanation comes down and passes through the energy channel down into Chokmah, it has the potential to then come fully into manifestation through Binah, but it hasn't really hit that point yet because it's still this emanation from nothingness. I know it's difficult to understand, but I hope I'm explaining this. As Chokmah emanates from the crown, the first dawn of infinite light, it appears in a dark and indefinite state that is virtually synonymous to non-being, okay? So this information that we attain while in Chokmah, what they're trying to say is it's still in the dark and in an indefinite state of non-being because it hasn't been acted upon yet. It hasn't been passed through that doorway, okay? And we're going to get to what that means in a second. And again, as stated in the Book of Job, and Chokmah emerges from nothingness, where the light of Ein Sof unites in the world. So from the point of relation to the crown, Chokmah essentially represents raw, unmanifested potential. It is only once we pass through this door, or Daleth, into Binah, that we see this wisdom actually take form, okay? So now let's look at Binah a little bit more in depth. Binah is best understood as processed wisdom, I think, also known as deductive reasoning. It is the understanding of one idea from another idea, while Chokmah is the intellect that does not emanate from the rational process, but rather from Ein Sof, or nothingness, which is actually the complete opposite to the rational process, because there's nothing rational about this form of God, which is what Ein Sof is. Remember the quote I showed you earlier, wisdom comes from nothing, okay? Binah is the counterpart, the fully rational process that is innate in each person, which works to fully develop this intellect. Binah is also known as the full expression of the creative power of femininity. And this is because Binah receives the stream of supernal light from above and continually gives birth to the externalization of the divine energy that sustains the lower seven Sephirot. Okay, therefore, Binah is used as the mother of the seven. This is a very, very common thing that you'll hear in lots of TV shows. Okay, the mother of the seven. This is what this is all alluding to, and this is why people have tied the number 7 to feminine deities. But we'll get into that in a bit. Binah is the prototype of the wise mother. It is the seat of understanding, judicious restriction, and objective judgment. It's also known as the source of life because it is the Sephirah which, in the process of emanation, elucidates the inner world and expresses it as a coherent, active force. Okay, so we've got this energy and this raw potential, this emanated down from the crown into Chokmah. Okay, and now we take it through this door and we take it into this rational, deductive reasoning in Binah, which really allows this force of Chokmah to take some shape and fully manifest and be expressed in a coherent way. Okay, so in other words, Binna takes this raw force of Chokmah, or this raw wisdom, and channels it into various forms of creation. For example, in a car, you have the fuel and the engine, okay? Well, Chokmah is the fuel, pure energy. Binna is the engine, yeah? Either one is useless without the other. So Binna is typically understood as feminine because it essentially gives birth to the entirety of creation. Understand why you see Binna used in so many different occult practices under so many different names, okay? Binna is the yoni, Binna is the womb, Binna is the priestess card in the tarot, Binna is the Virgin Mary, it's Hecate, it's Juno, it's every female archetype you can imagine. And Crowley ties Binna to Isis, and that's where the whole 7 and Isis thing came in. And of course, I've told you before that Isis's number is 7. If you go back and watch my 9/11 video, I've spoke to you about how the number 74 is really Isis on the cube. I'm not going to go into that here. Go watch my other video. So now you know why, because it's always attached to a feminine deity purely because this is the Sephiroth that maintains the lower 7, which is actually the 3 realms of where creation begins. All right, and I know you're probably thinking at this point, yo, numbers, what the fuck does any of this have to do with seeing 111? Get on with the point, mate. Well, I am getting there. And I promise this little preamble I've just given you is absolutely necessary for you to understand the following discussion, okay? But before we move on, let's just do a little recap. 1111, okay? Sums to 4, which corresponds to Daleth, 4th letter of the Hebrew alphabet. When we map Daleth onto the tree of life, we see it corresponds to path 14. Path 14 mediates Chokmah, wisdom, and Binah, understanding. While we're looking at the tree of life, why are we looking at the tree of life? Well, it is a central topic in esoteric Judaism. And as you know, Gematria is a Jewish practice. So it makes perfect sense to look at the very system that combines existence with numbers to find out our answer. Okay, and so far, what can we take from this? I personally see 1111 as a gateway or a doorway. And I know a lot of you guys who have been following me for a few years now know how I've told you guys about how the number 101 is a portal number and it opens gateways. Well, 101 is just 11, and this is in this 1111 that you're seeing here. So it all comes together. You're going, it's the doorway, it's the gateway, okay? And there's a second part to this video, and we're going to get more into the 11s and the single 11 and what it means. But for now, it can be best understood as 1111 is simply it's a doorway. It's a doorway from wisdom to understanding. Now, insofar as why this code is manifesting in your life, I personally believe that this particular code manifests when the subject has stumbled upon or is contemplating some new world-changing information or knowledge. Okay, now I use this word world-changing, which might sound out of place, but let me try and explain myself here. We've already discussed on this channel how the universe is essentially holographic, okay? One big mental projection. I've also shown you that words create worlds. So with this in mind, take yourself back to what I said about the feminine nature of Binah and how it provides the supernal womb for the lower 7 Sephiroth, which actually represent creation, and in doing so, brings into fruition the knowledge of Chokmah. This is obviously the process of creation, which is why Binah is known as the mother. That very process is going on inside of you when you see 1111. Let me explain. The person that keeps seeing 1111 in some way, shape, or form have stumbled upon some information that is trying to activate itself through the womb of Binah. You've stumbled upon something that has the potential to change your world. Remember, the world is holographic. You can change your world just like that. It takes a thought, but you need to be strong with your thoughts. And sometimes the universe tries to tell you to be strong with your thoughts. So the universe is trying to reveal this to you in the only way it knows how. And that is through numerical codes. And that's obviously ties into the fact that we do, in fact, live in one huge number generator. So if the universe is communicating to you, one of the first ways it's going to attempt to do it is through numbers, will be through the times, because it will dial into your body's clock. Our bodies they run off these clocks as well. Remember, they run off these archetypical numbers. That's what the tree of life is about. So this is the universe trying to tell you in the only way it knows how that you've found something or you've stumbled upon something that really needs to be taken one step further. But you have to go through Binah first before you truly see what that is manifest. And I know this makes a lot of sense to me because when I saw 1111, it was very early on in my journey, and I haven't seen this for about 7 years now. Now I see different codes that I'm still trying to figure out. I see 216 a lot. I always look at the clock at 16 minutes past 8 in the evening. 2016, it seems to be one that I'm dialed in on at the minute for some reason. Once you move into a space where that knowledge that you have attained in Chokmah has been fully processed and understood, you won't see that 111 anymore. But that's not to say that this can only happen once. You can go through this process multiple times in your life, depending on what it is that you're exposing yourself to. And it's no coincidence that people start seeing these number synchronicities pop up once they have been acclimated with certain information. And of course, I don't know what you've been exposing yourself to, other than my videos, of course. So I can't pinpoint exactly what it is for you that you've stumbled across that's trying to push you through that door if you are seeing 111. But what I can say that it is something very, very important. With that being said, turning our attention back to the Tree of Life, we can see that the planet associated with Binah is Saturn. As you can see here, this is the glyph. Now, this is interesting given what we know about Saturn's role in this simulation. This could mean that this Sephirah of understanding can only be mastered once you've been introduced to Saturn, really. And that could come in many different forms, you know. Once you've been introduced to the idea of the matrix, quote unquote, or the Saturn matrix, quote unquote, maybe that is what pushes that information through and activates the doorway to Binah, given that the glyph for Binah is Saturn. So that might be why some of you guys are seeing it, because of my channel. Could be a bunch of other people who have been talking about this stuff, because this Saturn information has been around for a long while, you know, from Jordan Maxwell, Santos Bonacci, Phil Valentine, Bobby Hemmett, and many others. They've all spoken about the role of Saturn. So if you're familiar with any of these lecturers and any of this information, there's a high chance that at some point in your life, you've gone through this process of seeing 111. Remember earlier I mentioned that Chokmah is associated with the bright side of the brain, while logic dictates that Binah is obviously associated with the left side, given that it is on the left side of the tree, on the left-hand pillar. Now, within Chokmah lies the soul of an idea. Hence, right brain people tend to see overall general problems rather than grappling with individual components. Some scientists and artists employ non-analytic approaches to solve problems. You know, they walk or meditate or daydream or even sleep on it. And this allows right brain activity to emerge. Okay, it's the infusion of the Chokmah flow. And although in the 20th century it's become really fashionable to call right brain activity as the solution to all problems, you know, everyone wants to get in their right brain this, right brain that. But the truth is both hemispheres are necessary in their respective capacities. Even the most creative people need discipline and dedication, you know, if you're to produce anything worthwhile. And this derives from left brain activity. So it's not all about right brain. You need to find that perfect balance between right and left brain, or between Binah and Chokmah, or between wisdom and understanding. Using a Kabbalistic point of reference, the sparks of Chokmah must be harnessed by the shaping quality of Binah, which taps the Chokmah energy and puts it to good use. So 111 can also be understood as a gateway to bringing balance to both hemispheres in the brain, quite literally. And this story has been told over 100 times in many different ways. The most common is in Star Wars, and the idea of balancing the Force. And it goes a step further than that, because I know I haven't told you guys yet, but there will be a part 2 to this video where we talk about the 11th Sephirah, which is Darth, or Death. Just food for thought, Darth Vader was the hidden Sephirah. Star Wars is all Kabbalistic, and Darth refers to a type of transformative threshold from good to evil and evil to good, which I don't really want to get into in this video. But in analogy to that, the movie character Darth Vader goes through the same process of good to evil and evil to good. Also, one more thing I will add, that Vader's son was Luke, okay, which comes from Luz, which means light in Latin. So obviously he was the archetype of the good guy, you know, Luke Skywalker. But then again, we also have terms such as the light bearer, and we know that that is synonymous with Lucifer. So we've got that dual meaning going on here again with that those particular characters. There's a lot going on in Star Wars, and I will break that down in a separate video. Right, to sum all of this up, if you keep seeing 1111, it means you are being told to go through the door. It is the universe's way of telling you, or the simulation's way of showing you, that the raw creative force that exists within Chokmah and exists within you is ready to be channeled into Binah. to bring about a real change in your world. Remember, words create worlds and thoughts create things. So the simple act of you reflecting and sitting on some profound knowledge, some information that you might have stumbled across, is enough to quite literally change your world and make a new world for you, framed by whatever wisdom it is that you attained while you was in Chokmah. And that is why the first three Sephirot we've been discussing form a pyramid, and the first pyramid at the top of the tree of life, this right here, is your Trinity. And remember, light manifests through a prism, through 7 rays. Well, these 7 rays correspond to these 7 lower worlds that Binah maintains, where creation begins. So this top Trinity right here, this is the plane of spirit, and these lower 3 worlds, these lower segments where we see creation take place, are exactly like the 3D world we live in. So we'll see 3 different planes of existence, and this is where the energy passes through before it reaches Malkuth. But everything starts in the world of
Less than a minute.
Oh, all right.
archetypes up here, which is where we see our Trinity, and from there is a trickle-down effect until we arrive in Malkuth, which is Earth. And Malkuth is really the crown. These two are connected, but again, that's for a different video. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope that explains why you've been seeing 1111. Gives you a better explanation than what you've found. And the next part of this video, I'm going to go into the number 11, I think, a bit deeper, and tie it into the hidden Sephirot, because not many people know about that. So yeah, that will be out soon. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, that's it.
That was deep. Shit.
Yeah, I was really deep.
Yep. Yeah, it's a better answer than to find usually if you Google why am I seeing 1111. You know, I just brought up because Truth Zone was going in talking about it. So
I
Yeah,
seen 1111 the other day on the bus. They had something about veterans being able to ride for free, and it was on 11/11, November 11th.
yeah,
That was 2 days ago. Yeah.
yeah. I like how you break it down. How he ties both sides in together. When he say that you need both sides, of the spectrum, in order to thrive. I'm just paraphrasing what he said, because I've been telling people, look, this whole thing, going from, detaching from negative to attach yourself to positivity, it's just a polar shift. You know, it's just a polar shift. It's just taking you from one pole to another pole. You're still going to be in balance because you need both poles, right? And I always make that analogy. Is the reason why the Masonic, temple, they have 2 pillars. If it was only one pillar, if it was only about the negative or the positive, they'll just have one pillar. If it was about
Isn't
that
there
one
3
side,
pillars? I could be
say that again.
mistaken.
Say that again.
I thought there was 3 pillars.
Yeah, it's 3. There is one that's unseen. One of them unseen, because you need to master both of the pillars before you can get to the third one.
that's the middle pillar. It's the coming together of the left and the right.
Yeah, only when you put both of them together, right? Only then you can climb up the ladder, right? If you ain't put both sides of the ladder together, there's nothing to climb on, right? Because the a ladder got 2 pillars, right? And you got the steps in the middle. Is the 2 pillars that create the steps. So if you don't put the both sides together, you don't know what step to take. You can't calculate your step.
You're talking about like the Masonic thistle board, right? What they call it.
Yeah,
Where,
that's what I'm making an example of that, because they are operating in truth, right? They operating in truth because they are in the of the matrix, but they're not in the matrix. They are the one creating the matrix, right? They are part of those creating the matrix, so they're not in the matrix. They're governing the matrix, and to govern the matrix, you can't govern the matrix with the law of the matrix.
This I found this. I just want to show where I said the bird. Well, you could do it with this one too. But if you flip this upside down, you get the pentagram, and the same thing upright. You could get the 6-pointed star. But there's a lot of sacred geometry with these symbols. That's what I think the bird originally represented was a 5-pointed star.
Well, it ties in, but I think it just represent balance. Because if the bird don't have balance, the bird can't maintain. You know, it's can maintain itself in the air, right? You need balance in order to fly. You
That's
gotta
all.
be in, you gotta
Yeah,
be in harmony. You gotta be in
Charles.
harmony. Good.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's what you're talking about, right, Naga?
Say that
With the
again.
ladder, this image here is what you were
Mm-hmm.
describing, right?
Yes, sir. And it's crazy too. They got the ladder right there because they let you know if you don't accept both sides of the pillars, you can't get to the ladder, to the steps, right? And
The
it's the
three
same thing.
pillars represent you, me, myself, and I. No.
Yeah, until until there is a covenant between your God and the devil, or your demons and your angels, right? You will never find peace within yourself in your environment, because these two entities will, forever create, chaos within yourself or your surrounding, your environment. So you have to bring both of them together. There gotta be a covenant between these two. Just like, there had to be a covenant between you and the woman in order to bring forth a child.
And it looks like they represent. Um, so it's Joaquin and Boaz, I think they call them. And then
Yep.
one of them, they have the sun on one side, the moon on the other,
Mm-hmm.
with the masculine and the feminine, the left and
Mm-hmm.
the right hemispheres.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to call it. And then also has to do with like the hermetic or kinetic law of neutralization. As with like polarity in that. It's like the pendulum swing. Instead of swinging left and right, you hold in the middle in neutral. Neutralization, and then you have an actual concrete form after,
Mm-hmm.
instead of getting blown one way or the other.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and even in here, look at the stars. I just want to say at the bottom, you could make a 6-pointed star in there. Them damn 6-pointed stars are everywhere, man. The Jewish
How many stars is that?
community is
13?
everywhere.
Probably 13, right?
Yeah. The six, the letter six itself ties to
Yeah,
the
but
Yep,
to the
13.
word,
I knew it was gonna be fucking 13.
the word, the word six, SIX, is ties to the word sex, SEX, right? It ties because the vowel is interchangeable, right? So when they're talking about, the number six, right? They also talking about sex, se- uh, 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 sexual magic, right? And this is what this planet is about. It's about not sex. It's about sacred. Well, it's about what I could say is about, sex and all that, because the sexual energy is the creative force of energy, right? When we're talking about the creation, right? You can't leave out sex when talking about creation. This is why even in the Bible they're talking about, oh, Adam knew his wife, Moses knew his wife, all these things. Every time they say somebody knew somebody, right, is about sex. And so that's what the letter, the letter number six represent. It represents sex, and the number nine, represent conception. So because after sex, right, there is a conception that taking place. So this is why the number 9 is being hidden. This is why. Can you hear me, or I'm just?
Nah, I'm listening, man. Yeah, I'm listening.
But yeah, this is why the number 9 is being hidden. They talk about it. They talk about it in a 45. With the 45 and other other numbers, right? But the number 9 in itself, they don't talk about it like they talk about the number 6. This is why people like us is talking about the 9 ethers, and all of these things. But we know about the number 6 is being, floating, it's being waved, in our face, every day. But like I said, it's bringing these two together. That's when you get harmony and balance. The 6-9, the 6-9 is the yin and yang. Like I said, after sex there is conception. You know, so
I gotta jump off here. But thanks for showing that, Cage. I wonder if I leave it up, if they're gonna. No, I'll leave it up. We'll see what happens. Fuck it. I don't
yes.
think that's fucking.
Yeah,
Salute,
it's on
Charles.
YouTube. You should be all right. Yeah.
Salute,
All right.
Charles. And Cage. True Zone and whoever else came through. Yeah, I'm gonna see y'all until next time.
All right, everybody, take it easy.
All right.
What happened? Why did you change my I don't know. I changed my fucking thing, man. I don't know what I did, but oh well. I'll figure it out. Oh, that's the old way. Let's see. No, I thought it would cover the whole page. But anyway, thanks to Naga, Cage, True Zone, and Faceplant for coming up. Peace, everyone in the chat. I'm probably gonna go live later because I ain't going live tomorrow. I'll be working in the day now, so. But anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. I'm out. Have a great day. Yeah, I probably will go live around between 5, maybe 6, 7. I don't know, but I'm out for now.